Just working with our company, you're going to get to work with a lot of bright individuals.
Everyone is open and ready to help you, and definitely big on advocating for making sure that you succeed and reach your potential.
Everyone's goal is the same, to make the best products that we can for our clients and make sure that it is everything and more that it could be.
What's kept me here? Our culture. We're genuinely a very great group of people. Everyone's just always willing to lend a hand.
When I have a suggestion or a concern and I voice it, leadership actually hears me.
As a consultancy, every person has a role and has something to bring to the table. There's just a lot of opportunities here if you're up for the challenge.
Jump on board, be part of the fun ride, because we're going places.
Can't get to a computer? Then we've got you covered. Just go to the IndianaSRN app and stay up to date with all of your favorite teams. You can watch live coverage or relive the experience with our on-demand service.
You're good at making big announcements. We're good at your insurance.
Start with Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance, online, over the phone, or in person, and stop knocking on wood.
From warehousing to transportation and everything in between, Piper Logistics does it all. Centrally located, Piper Logistics has 2 warehouses in Indianapolis and a warehouse in Cincinnati, Ohio. Piper Logistics houses over 1 million square feet. Along with our transportation department, we can provide service to half the United States markets.
Aspen Creek Grill, we are a from-scratch concept with comfort fresh food. You can expect a world-class experience on a great budget. We've got incredible specials, great service. Today's dish that we're going to highlight is going to be our Aspen Blue Sirloin. It is, again, our premium Black Angus certified beef, and we top that with a blue cheese crust. Again, everything that we do here is made from scratch, and it's no different from our steaks. We hand cut all our steaks in-house. So our team back there it's just an incredible team. Everything that they do, they take so much pride in. They put a little bit of themselves into everything that they do over here, especially since it is a made from scratch concept. We want everybody to come, visit us, enjoy some great food with some great service. Bring your friends, bring your family, come have some great food, have a great time with us with some of the best comfort scratch food.
Thinking about what to do after high school? Consider a career with Boilermakers Local 374. As a Boilermaker apprentice, you'll earn while you learn. Program, you'll learn from the best in state-of-the-art training centers and on the job. Become a union Boilermaker and get on your way to a great career. Find out more, visit www.local374.org or call 219-845-1000.
Vertner Electric Incorporated provides professional commercial electrical contractor services to Indianapolis and surrounding communities. Locally owned and operated for over 30 years, our knowledge and experience make us the perfect choice for all your commercial electrical contractor needs. Contact us today.
Thanks to you. Standing with us. You are truly making a difference in the lives of our neighbors in need.
Can't make it to the game? We've got your back. Just go to www.IndianaSRN.org and tune in to all of the live action, or go to our on-demand service and relive your favorite moments.
Sports fans, welcome back to Game Time, to pure spirit, to pure sport. Welcome back to high school sports.
Fans, I'm IHSAA Commissioner Paul Knighty, and I just want to say, welcome back.
This is Game Time. This is Indiana high school sports. This is your IHSAA.
Hey, Indiana, let's clear the air about vaping. Glue, rat poison, paint. We all know these products contain poisons like formaldehyde, arsenic, and lead. And these are just a few of the chemicals you'll find in e-cigarette vapor. Let's clear the air, Indiana. Don't puff this stuff. Visit don'tpuffthisstuff.com to join the fight and spread the word.
Calling officials cheaters or corrupt, it's not a game.
Insulting referees, it's not a game.
Threatening officials, it's not a game.
Berating young umpires, learning the ropes, it's not a game.
Violent language in the stands, it's not a game.
Verbal abuse from the sideline, it's not a game.
Screaming at a referee in the parking lot, it's not a game.
HCAC TV is on the air. Live from the campus of Manchester University, it's week 1 of the college football season. Optimism is in the air as the North Park University Vikings make the 150-mile trip southeast to visit the Manchester University Spartans here at Spartan Stadium. Today's game is sponsored by the Morales Group, building better futures one story at a time. Aspen Creek Grill, why go anywhere else for delicious food? Vertner Electric provides quality electrical services in central Indiana. Boilermaker 374, we're second to none in quality and performance. Clean Slate, inspired innovation that moves business forward. And Piper Logistics, from warehousing to transportation and everything in between. Along with producer Greg Smith, cameraman Micah Ware, and my partner Peyton Brown, this is Clark Chafin. And Peyton, it's been 293 days since these two football programs last played, and that dates back to November 12th of 2022. A lot can happen in that time frame. New recruiting classes, players transfer, or in some cases new coaching staffs. And after summer workouts and fall camp, these teams are excited to kick off the season.
Yeah, these two teams are fired up, and you could see it in the warm-ups and the energy and the aura from both teams as they were on the field. They're ready to go. They got the jitters, they got the excitement, and they sure have the passion for the game to be here, and it's going to be an exciting one to see how these two teams decide to start their season tonight.
Well, both of these squads are excited for this season, especially after experiencing a tough year last year. North Park finished the 2022 campaign going 1-9, but in talking to head coach Kyle Rooker this week, he's excited about how hard his team has worked in camp, and he said, hey, last year was last year, and the Vikings are locked into this one and this one opportunity this week, and that's what their focus is, and it sounds like the Vikings are ready to play.
Yeah, it does sound like they're ready to play, and they definitely, after having a year like last year, are focused on a common goal together, and that's just to get better and better each and every single day. A lot of coaches said it to me this way: get 1% better every single day and make that your goal. And as a team coming together, I can't imagine the chemistry that's being built between them with that.
And Coach Rooker also mentioned that just getting those fundamentals, getting better at those fundamentals, very important for his squad. Meanwhile, Manchester also went 1-9 a season ago. Their only win? It was against these North Park Vikings. New head coach Von Hunt is excited to take the field today. Coach Hunt said that the Spartans, they got a new saying, Peyton. It's called bring the juice, meaning he wants his guys to play with great energy, effort, and intensity. And if pregame's any indication when both teams are out in the field getting loose and warmed up, the Spartans are ready to do battle.
They are ready to battle, and you could see it in them. Every action starts in the mind and starts just in the heart, and them embodying the value of bringing the juice and mentally preparing themselves for that is going to translate exactly to how they play. And we already saw how they warmed up. It looks like they're bringing the juice, and they're ready to.
They are definitely excited. The North Park Vikings, located in Chicago, Illinois. Coach Kyle Rooker is in his 5th season. They offensively expect the Vikings to use a lot of variety of schemes and formations, maybe some run-pass options, some quick passing game, and even some pro-style attack. And defensively, they like to line up in a 4-2-5. Peyton, what's the advantage of a defense being in a 4-2-5?
The advantage with that is the contain from the outside, because you have some extra athletic players on the field, because it's more of a nickel or a dime look, and you have those extra DBs, meaning they're quicker players. And not only can they defend the pass, but they can contain and defend the run as well.
Well, and the Manchester Spartans begin a new era of Manchester University football. Coach Von Hunt was named head coach in February, and the excitement is there. The players are really enthusiastic, very hyped. And talking to the coaching staff before the game, they look to run a kind of a spread formation in the offense, and defense they look to attack. But in a spread formation, how can that be to their advantage in this game today?
That'll be to their advantage because they'll have multiple playmakers on the field, because in a spread offense, you're putting your fastest kids out there, but also your most aggressive kids. So having that speed, athleticism, and just awareness all around with the spread offense on the field, I think will pay dividends for Manchester here.
Well, we're excited to bring Week 1 to you here on HCAC TV, powered by IndianaSRN. And we'll meet when we come back after a while. We're going to meet some impact players. We're going to hear Peyton's game plan for each team. And it's exciting week 1 action as we see the Spartans getting fired up at midfield, getting ready to go. Peyton, can't wait to get this one kicked off and underway.
Yeah, we can't wait to have this one, and as you can see from Manchester in the middle of their own field, they're ready to bring the juice here tonight.
Playing for each other is one thing Coach Hunt mentioned to me. Playing for that man next to you, being that fierce competitor. We'll see these results as we kick it off. When we come back, we'll meet some impact players and get Peyton's game plan. It's HCAC TV.
Hey folks, good to be with you for tonight's game. My name is Andy Simpson and I'm a licensed IHSAA football official, and welcome to Friday Night Football powered by IndianaSRN. On behalf of the 340 football officials, the IHSAA, the crew here at IndianaSRN, we hope you enjoyed tonight's game, and more important, don't forget to subscribe to the IndianaSRN YouTube page. As you're watching tonight's contest, I'm going to show you a few of our signals that will help you better understand the information we are trying to convey. Touchdown, safety, first down, holding or illegal use of hands, encroachment, or offsides commonly known, false start or illegal formation on the offense, or a free kick scrimmage violation, face mask, intentional grounding, roughing the passer, clipping, illegal shift, illegal motion, illegal block, pass interference by the offense or the defense, delay of game, and the one signal we dislike and you as fans don't like seeing, unsporting. We'd like to thank everyone for tuning in tonight and following us on IndianaSRN. You can also tune in to the Football Weekly Show and Coach's Show every Saturday morning at 8 a.m. on IndianaSRN.org. Finally, if you've ever thought about becoming an IHSAA official, www.ihsaa.org and click on the Officials tab or call the IHSAA office at 317-846-6601. Now, sit back and enjoy the game.
You're live. Welcome back to Spartan Stadium in week 1 of college football as we have North Park University against Manchester Spartans as the team captains for both sides head out to midfield for the coin toss. For North Park, their team captains voted on by their players as quarterback number 8, Matt Eck, a 6'1", 185-pound senior. Tight end Joseph Callis, a 6'2", 220-pound senior. Linebacker Juan Nevis, who last year had 3 interceptions and 48 total tackles. And linebacker number 6, Jaden Miller, 5'10", 195-pound junior, who led the team last year with 79 total tackles. Meanwhile, we look over at the Manchester University Spartans elected captains. Number 2, Jalen Love, who's a 5'5", 170-pound senior. Love had 3 touchdowns last year and carried the ball for 283 yards. Offensive guard Connor Hinman, who is a 5'11", 260-pound junior from Windfall, Indiana, and Tri-Central High School. Number 97, Sam Huffman, who's 6'1", 235-pound senior. He had 36 total tackles last year. And Javion Davis, a 6'2", 175 pounds from Marion High School in Marion, Indiana. As the captains are meeting, Peyton, let's look at the game plan first for the North Park Vikings. Coach Rooker talked about making sure we do the little things well and do those fundamentals. Look at this game last year. They had 3 interceptions. That's one of the focuses, I think, is taking care of the ball. What's North Park got to do to get a win today?
For North Park to get a win tonight, I would say to focus on exactly what the coach is bringing up, and it's the fundamentals, taking care of the football, make sure you're rallying to the ball as a defense and tackling and breaking down, and then just falling in love with the process of football again, because I think nowadays some teams maybe get caught up in the flashiness and the sexiness of some plays and schemes or whatever it may be, but football teams that fall in love with the process of football itself again, and do the little things right, usually come out on top.
We take a look at Manchester, with a new coaching staff. They've got that element of surprise where, even talking to Coach Rooker this week, he wasn't sure how necessarily any keys or anything to really prepare for specifically because of the new staff. How can Manchester use that to their advantage?
Yeah, Manchester has every opportunity in the world right now with a brand new coaching staff, a new opportunity, a new team motto with them bringing the juice. And I think if both sides of the ball embody that in their mental estate, they'll be able to take off early and maybe be able to even put this game away early.
Manchester wins the opening coin toss. They have deferred, so they will kick off to North Park and have the wind at their back for the first and fourth quarter. And the Vikings will receive the ball, and they're going from the north end zone. And again, the wind blowing from the south to the north. And it's a good brisk wind as we're watching some of the field goal kickers before the game. The North Park field goal kicker hitting from about 45 yards with the wind. So it can play a factor into tonight's contest. If we look at the starters for the North Park Vikings offense, they'll go this way. Matt Eck at quarterback, Marcel Love at running back, number 1 A.J. Harris at wide receiver. The other wide receiver is Jacob Drexler. Wide receiver Brian Boyd is the third receiver. Tight end Joseph Callis. And then across the line they'll go this way. Joshua DeLuca at left tackle. Hakeem Yahya at left guard. Caden McKinstry at center. Right guard's Isaiah Williams, and right tackle is Tyler Hebler. And North Park Vikings offense is set to take the ball after this kickoff.
Manchester's got the energy on their sideline
bringing
right now.
Juice.
They are bringing the juice, and I am not surprised at all that they elected to defer because defense does win championships.
Kickoff taken it up the right side, and the cutback breaks a tackle across midfield. And a good return by Juan Nieves. All the way to the 45-yard line goes Nieves. And North Park will have the ball and in great field position where it'll be 1st and 10 from the 46-yard line of Manchester.
And that's just an ideal way to start if you're North Park, getting a huge return. That's setting the tone. They have the calm demeanor on the sideline. Maybe not bringing as much of the juice initially on the sideline, but they brought it when it counted, and that was during the play.
Shotgun formation by the Vikings. Eck drops back to pass, looks at the slant route, and maybe deflected by number 15, James Hubbard, the linebacker from Russellville, Alabama.
And it looks like Manchester is coming out in something that looks like a 3-4 maybe, so I would have our eyes out for the runs up the middle with just the 3 down linemen and the little slant patterns like that, as we just saw.
Eck in the shotgun, man in motion. 2 receivers to his left. Handoff up the middle, and a big hole to the 35, the 30. Down the sideline before he's ushered out of bounds is Marcel Love.
And that was a beautiful hole that his offensive line created for him, because you saw the back of the jerseys facing in towards him, meaning they got their guys kicked out. And once he saw that hole open up, as we're going to see here, he just took the lane and he went. And if he didn't get tripped up there right before the end, he could have still been running into the end zone.
25-yard run, and it's a first down for North Park. Well, what a great start for the Vikings. You get a return all the way into Manchester territory and a big run. Love again right up the middle. This time the defense swarms around the ball carrier for only a minimal gain of 3.
It is a very minimal gain there, but that running back again was able to find the hole, but good job by the defense going low. I saw some people dive low, and if you take their legs out, they can't run without them.
Second down, ball inside now the red zone, man in motion. There's A.J. Harris, 3 receivers to the left. Here's the handoff to Love around the right side. Held up nicely by number 15. James Hubbard again making a play from his outside linebacker spot. Holds him up for his buddies to swarm in, and a huge tackle.
And it's just a great response here by this Manchester D, stepping up in a situation where they didn't have things going their way initially, but they're able to regroup themselves, keep the composure, and do their job and contain like that and fill their gaps.
Loss of 2. It's 3rd down and 9. A big 3rd down here for the Spartan defense. Eck drops back to pass. Here comes the blitz. Throws it in the corner. Got a man open, but overthrew him.
And that receiver had the leverage there as he made the cut, but the quarterback just overthrew him just a little bit. If he took a little bit off and kept him inside to the middle of the field more, he probably would have came down with it.
You got to think, Peyton, that maybe that pressure from that defensive line caused Eck to throw it a second too early and out past the outstretched arms of A.J. Harris, but the Vikings are going to go for it. 4th and 10 from the 21. And let's see, there was some movement on the defensive line. There's a flag down. Looked like the defensive line jumped, but I don't know if they got back in time. Let's see what the official says. And it'll be a false start against North Park. I think one of the linemen tried to move while a defensive player was in the neutral zone to try to get a penalty. But the defense got back in time, so they called the false start, moves them back 5 yards. And now you have 4th and 14 from the 26. I don't see the field goal kicker.
And it looks like they're choosing to go for it, maybe because of how
this is
the
right
wind.
up your alley too, Peyton. You like to go for it on 4th down.
Man. If they'd go for it more, they'd get my liking a lot more, that's for sure.
Looks like the same formation that they've ran. Eck drops back to pass. Will route has the tight end and a big hit, but did he hang on? He did. Isn't enough for a 1st down. It's close. It depends on the official spot, and I think he got it.
It does look like he got it there, and the defender made a huge hit. Great hit, but as a DB there, you got to understand situational football, and the situation is get the ball on the ground and bat it down, so they're not able to convert. But regardless, great catch by the receiver, great hit by the DB.
Joseph Callis hangs on to it for a 1st down. Here's a wildcat as A.J. Harris gets behind center and runs in that wildcat formation.
And that's a formation I used to always love to run because that meant that we were just going to be grounding and pounding forward.
Harris with a 2-yard gain. The Vikings are now inside the 10-yard line. Wildcat formation again. High snap, Harris bobbles, broken play, and he slips and falls. And a big loss. The high snap really took him out of the rhythm of that play set, Peyton.
And again, Manchester is just responding here. They had a situation happen on 4th down where they converted, which isn't what Manchester obviously would have wanted, but they've been able to compose themselves and just keep their frame of mind knowing that they can't give up. It doesn't mean, since they're in 4-down territory, they're not going for the field goal right now. So if they keep them out of the end zone, then they're not going to get any points here.
3rd and 4 from the 14. 3rd and 14, rather, from the 14. So they can get a 1st down all the way to the 1-yard line. Eck drops back to pass, looks left, throws in the corner again. Did he run out of real estate? And he says it's incomplete. A.J. Harris on that corner route one more time. Just ran out of room, and the incompletion makes it 4th down.
And it looks like their kicker has come onto the field for a field goal. Yep.
Brings up 4th down and 14 for the Vikings.
So kicker Michael Messersmith from Rockmart, Georgia, will come in to kick what looks to be a 30-yard field goal attempt. He's against the wind. Snap is down, the kick is up, and it is good. So with 11:15 in the 1st quarter, a 30-yard field goal and North Park is on top by a score of 3-0.
At Morales Group Staffing, we are all about building better futures. And during these times, we are working hard to put people to work. We are now hiring for hundreds of jobs with pay up to $17 an hour. Visit our website at moralesgroup.net or text JOBS, JOBS, to 317-472-7600 to apply now and get hired today.
We encourage you to follow us on Twitter at IndianaSRN. Find upcoming games, video highlights, and much more. Follow us now at IndianaSRN.
They were in the 8, and then they had that bad snap. Okay. Welcome back to Spartan Stadium. 38-yard drive culminates with a 30-yard field goal, and North Park strikes first on top 3-0. And the Vikings will kick off. Here comes Manchester with the return of the kickoff. And out to the 20.
And it is going to be vital for the Spartans here to respond in a way that is going to let North Park know that they are not in control here at their home stadium.
Return to the 20-yard line. Call it the 21, 1st and 10 for this Manchester offense.
And if I was Manchester's coach, first year, first game here, I'd throw in a little trick play just to set the tone.
Well, let's see what they have up their sleeve. Coach Hunt, his first game at the helm. Man in motion. And a run pass option is kept around the corner. And that's Dante Cheney breaking a tackle and getting loose. Cheney with a nice gain on first down.
And that was a really good read there by the quarterback. He was able to really ride that handoff for enough time to get the defender to bite as hard as he did, just giving him green grass, and he just used his wheels to get out there and keep moving.
15-yard run by Cheney and a nice positive run on the first possession. Cheney is starting at quarterback, a 6-foot junior. Cheney from Arlington, Texas, in the shotgun. Bobbles the snap, is able to get control and hand it to Jalen Love. Love picks up positive yardage. Actually a really nice gain considering the snap and able to control the snap.
It was a very good gain for the Spartans here, and I think they're doing something that is really going to pay them a lot of benefit here towards the end of the game, and in the middle of it is they're using the run to set up the pass. And if a team can run, then it's going to be really hard to stop them the whole game.
First quarter, under 10 minutes. Cheney. He'll hand off to Love up the middle. Not much room this time as that defensive line by the Vikings stands up.
And on a third down like this, I would suspect a team that's using the run early to throw in a little play action here and try to throw it over the top of the defense.
Third down and 4 for the Spartans.
Third down and 4. Manchester looks to the sideline to get the play. 15 on the play clock. Cheney gets everybody organized. He's got 3 receivers left, 1 to the right. Here comes the blitz by North Park, and it's deflected. Pass broken up by number 16, Juan Nieves.
And that was great by Juan just to get his hands up there right in the quarterback's face and bat that down. As we see now, sending the offense off the field and getting the ball back in North Park's offense's hands, and they already have some momentum, so it'll be interesting to see what they do here on their next drive.
forces the punt from the 42-yard line of Manchester with the wind. It's back to punt is number 44. That's Aiden Beachy. Beachy gets it out of there. Coffin corner, gets a Spartan roll, stays in bounds, and rolls all the way down to the 5-yard line. A nice punt by Beachy to flip the field position. And with 8:50 remain, North Park offense comes back on attack. And Peyton, you got to think, if you're North Park Vikings, you found some rhythm there in that first drive. What worked well for them?
Yeah, they did find a lot of rhythm in that first drive, and I saw it out of their run game. Their running back runs really, really hard, and their offensive line does a great job of not only taking care of the first level, but they build to the second level. You'll see guards and tackles start on one defensive lineman together, and then one of them will bump up and go hit a linebacker, giving the running back a huge hole to work with.
Ball will start on the 6-yard line of North Park. Eck in the shotgun. He'll hand off to Love, go to the left side. Gives him a little more space as he gets out and crosses the 10, we'll say the 11-yard line.
Number 2.
And as we saw on that play with what I was just mentioning, the offensive lineman did a great job at creating a hole for him. And this running back, he's real shifty, and when he finds that hole, he hits the gas.
I was going to say, he's exploding through that line of scrimmage. He's running downhill, as they like to say. 2nd down and 5. Eck looking over the defense. Here's a handoff. Love again to the left side. Minimal gain.
And Manchester's defense seems to be picking up on what North Park is trying to do on offense with these short runs that they're having and the downhill type of offense that they're having, creating their linebackers with a little more oomph to fill their gaps and get downhill before the running back hits them.
3rd and 3, ball on the 13, call it the 14-yard line. Eck looks to the sideline. Love moves to his left. He's looking left, a quick out route. They can't connect, looking for A.J. Harris.
And great job by Manchester's defense bringing some heat there. After North Park had a good gain on first down, they kept them minimal on 2nd down, creating an uncomfortable 3rd down situation for North Park. And Manchester's able to get the ball back here.
Well, Manchester's got to be happy with that special teams unit flipping the field and getting a 3 and out. Coach Hunt's got to be happy with that phase of the game so far as North Park looks to punt it out of there. Carson Blatchford will be doing the punting for the Vikings as he stands in his own end zone. Got to catch it first. Going against the wind. A little rugby-style kick. There's no one there. He's going to run down the right side. He's going to pick up a first down and more. And Blanchard crosses the 35. And North Park pulling out all the strings. A fake punt and a first down on the run.
And I applaud North Park's coaching staff there with that play call. It was risky, but, hey, it's something I would do if I was a coach to be able to have a call like that, and you just see nobody on the left side is really containing or they're giving the punter a free lane to get more than enough for the first down.
25-yard gain by Blatchford. No one saw that coming. Great blocking by the right side of the protection team. And a first down for North Park. Reset the game clock to 7 minutes and 12 seconds.
And I got to tell you, I love the aggression from the coaching staff on North Park's side of the ball here. They were almost inside their own 10, so that was a risky play. But I love it. I love games that have a lot of risk involved in it.
They started on their own 6, as Peyton just said, as Manchester had flipped the field. They got a 4th down, but
with buckets collecting money for the 8-yard entry.
Fake punt, 25-yard gain, and the Vikings are marching from the 38-yard line. Here's a handoff, inside draw.
Just great hard running there. It was a minimal gain, but as you can see, their running back, when he was being taken down, he still had his feet moving, and along with his low center of gravity.
Reed Huseman on the carry. His first carry of the game, a 3-yard gain. Be second down and 7. It seems like this North Park offense has been on the field the majority of this first quarter. It's like a potential blitz up the middle. Play action for pass. Eck lets it go. Down the sideline, in and out of the hands of A.J. Harris, and they're going to call it incomplete. Might have been some contact, Peyton, as he was coming back for the ball.
And I'm loving this game by the coaches and the refs a little bit. I mean, it looks like he's letting them play a little bit there, which, I mean, I love it, but it did look like there was a little bit of contact there affecting if he was able to catch the ball or not.
Eck through the air is only 1 for 6 for 15 yards. And it brings up a big third down. Can the Spartans force a punt? Here's the snap. Here's a fade down the sideline, and he catches it, but he's out of bounds. Again, they're looking to number 1, A.J. Harris. He's a 5'11 senior from Hubbard High School in Chicago, Illinois.
7 for the Vikings.
That's the second pass Harris has caught, but he's ran out of real estate.
And he ran out of real estate there just because of how great of a play it was by the defensive back. He not only was attached to his hip, but he flipped his eyes around right when he needed to.
And was kind of steering him toward that sideline and taking away some of that space. A great play by that DB, and the line brings up 4th down and 7. Carson Blatchford back to punt again. He's from Belvedere North High School in Belvedere, Illinois. And a delay of game is going to go against North Park. It's a 5-yard penalty, North Park's second penalty. That'll scoot him back 5 yards. 6:06 here left to go in quarter 1.
And Manchester's doing a great job with their responses here. They've had a few things happen not in their favor, but the way that, again, their defense is keeping their composure and staying in this game mentally is what's going to give them opportunity after opportunity.
Kick is a low liner and takes a roll. The Manchester player needs to get out of the way. He does, and it will be down at the 12-yard line.
Number 35, Carson Blackford. Punt rolls dead. It will be Spartan ball, 1st down.
Manchester will start on its own 12-yard line. 5:54 to go. Dante Cheney, who was the first series quarterback, stepped in and took the first play for the Manchester Spartans for a 15-yard run. I think they like his dual threat quarterback, is his opportunistic, the ability to run and throw.
Him being a dual threat is going to be dangerous for North Park's defense, because once they do find that consistent rhythm, they're just going to feed off the energy of the quarterback, and they can have him, as we've seen, running the ball or throwing the ball now.
1st and 10 from the 12. Cheney getting some pressure. He's in the end zone. He gets rid of it. Jalen Love was in the vicinity, or else that would have been a safety.
Brings up 2nd down, 10, Spartan.
It looks like he got hit as he threw there as well, definitely affecting where that ball went.
Good pressure applied by that defensive line. And how about these two defenses? Only 1 pass completion so far this first quarter.
As we're seeing right now, it is a very, very hard defensive battle right now.
A lot of times you think week 1 the defense might be a little ahead of the offense. And certainly for Manchester, week one of a new staff, learning everything as a flag comes in. Love carries for 2 yards, but we'll see what that's all about.
That looks much better. Side to side was good. It was just when you had to go up and down.
And it looks like it's going to be a penalty against Manchester.
Back to what you were saying, though, with the defense coming out a little more fresh in week one. A lot of times that is the case because defense, they just got to fly around. They have a gap to fill and a zone to get to or a man to get to. But offensively, it's a lot more strategic because you got to understand the schemes of the defense than the schemes yourself and where you need to be, when you need to be there. And all of a sudden you throw in motions and different formations and all of this. And you got to constantly be thinking as an offensive player.
Penalty against Manchester. It'll be half the distance to the goal. So it'll be second down.
Second down at their own 6-yard line.
So it'll be 2nd and 15. Ball on the 6. Deep in Manchester territory. They really got to get some positive yards here, Peyton, on this down to make a manageable 3rd down. Blitz coming up the middle. Nowhere to go for Cheney. He drops down at the 1.
And that was a very, very dangerous play. If North Park was a little quicker back there, he would have been hitting the end zone, giving them another 2 points with a safety.
Linebacker Jaden Miller, number 6 for North Park, timed that snap perfect. From South Bend Adams High School in South Bend, Indiana, the 5'10 junior darted through the offensive line, right through that A gap. Cheney had nowhere to go, and this is a big 3rd down and 22. You got to think they'll probably try to get a run here to get some positive yards and a little more room for the punter. Hand off to Love to the right side. Falls forward for a yard, maybe 2, but that's it. It's going to be 4th down.
And this is going to be a very dangerous punt. Punts like this is usually when they get blocked. And if I'm North Park, I'm bringing the house completely to try to block that kick.
4th
down out the punt is Aiden Beachy from Tuscola Community High School, or Tuscola Community in Tuscola, Illinois. Beachy gets the snap, no rush. Gets the kickoff. It's high, end over end. Caught at the 46. Yavis makes a move and gets a 5-yard return. And great field position for North Park as they'll start at the 41-yard line.
And that was just great pursuit by Manchester special teams. They're getting down there quick, but also breaking down. A lot of people over pursue. And then that ball carrier is able to make a move and find green grass, leaving that player in the dust. But that's just a great job by the Spartans special teams there, breaking down when they got there.
HCAC website. Keep up to date with every school and every sport on the HCAC website. That's heartlandconf.org. That's HEARTLANDCONF.org for the HCAC website. First down from the 41, a slant, and it's broken up nicely by number 11 from Manchester. It's Justin Major got his hand in there, and another incomplete pass. I tell you, the Spartans have got to be happy with their pass defense. Only allowed 1 pass completion so far.
Yes, they're having phenomenal coverage tonight, not only being where they need to be, but making a play on the ball, because sometimes people are where they need to be, but get the ball caught over them or in traffic because they're not playing the ball.
2nd and 10. Eck getting everyone lined up. Shift formations. There's a run-pass option. He holds on to it as he reads the defense, but it goes nowhere for a 2-yard loss.
And that's just great penetration by the defensive line there. And even the linebackers being right where they need to be. And again, Manchester didn't have their way on offense, but their defense is bringing the juice like their coach wants them to, responding and keeping their composure.
3rd and 12. This is the second possession North Park has had that has started in Manchester territory. They scored 3 points on the first one. Now they face a 3rd and 12. Similar situation when they scored. They hit the tight end here for a long first down. Let's see what happens. Eck looks to the left, and they're not on the same page. The wide receiver cut off the route. Eck had to throw it to some pressure. It was coming at him maybe a little earlier than he wanted to, and it's incomplete. It's going to bring up a 4th and 12.
Remember, fans, you can access.
And I would not be surprised if this is 4-down territory, and it looks like it is, which I love.
4th down from the 43-yard line, 4th and 12. And it looks like a lot of Spartans at the line of scrimmage. Let's see if they bring some pressure. And a quick punt by Eck. With no one back down the middle, it's going to take a North Park roll. And inside the 10, and we'll blow it dead at the 9-yard line.
And Manchester is right back where they ended their last drive here, but it'll be interesting to see if they try anything new because they're sticking to some inside runs, the read option a little bit, a few quick passes here and there, but if they're able to find some kind of rhythm and maybe an outside run, a trick play, or a little bit of a deeper pass, it could set them up to get to where they want to be on this drive.
1st and 10 for the Spartans, ball resting at the 9-yard line. Let's see if Coach Hunt can get that offense going. Cheney still at quarterback. Jalen Love at running back. 2 backs in the backfield. Here's the handoff going to the left side. And a big-time tackle.
And it looks like they stuck to the read option there maybe. I'm not 100% sure, but the defense for North Park is doing exactly what they need to with a read option offense, and that's you have one guy who targets the running back and then one guy who goes after the quarterback. Typically it's an outside linebacker, which we saw there going after the running back, and then the defensive end is who's hitting the quarterback no matter what with a read option offense.
Big loss on the play. Josiah and Serena Smith tackle for loss. They're going to be inside now, called the 4-yard line, and some movement on the offense. A couple of receivers moving. Let's see if the defense jumped first. And it'll be a false start.
And this is going to be a tough situation for the Spartans here.
2nd down now and 17. All inside the 2. This is where they found themselves last possession, Peyton. They've got to string together and sustain a drive. Only have 1 first down. It looks like the Spartans are going to take a timeout. And we'll take it with them. 2:01 left here in the first quarter. North Park on top, 3-0.
This is Brittany. A little thing I love about the Egg White Grill is the toasty English muffin. It's toasted perfectly. It's just a little crispy, but not like hard crispy, but just crispy enough that when you bite into it, everything is perfect.
My name is Curtis, and I love the Egg White Grill because the egg itself, it's like soft and fluffy, like a pillow. I wouldn't eat my pillow, but I'd eat the Chick-fil-A breakfast egg white sandwich for sure.
They say nice guys don't finish first. So maybe it's time to reconsider what it means to be first.
It's about being your best, but knowing you could be even better.
It's being present, but respectful of history.
You sure you want to make that move?
It's donating something more valuable than money.
It's believing in yourself and something bigger.
It's coming from different families, but treating each other like brothers.
It's not just being a man, it's being a Mason.
Spartan Stadium in North Manchester, Indiana. 2:01 left in the first quarter on HCAC TV. Thanks for tuning in. Manchester ball 2nd and 17 on their own 2. Dante Cheney with the handoff up the middle. And he falls forward, and it looks again like that's Josiah and Saria Smith. for 2 yards.
And I suspect they will probably just do the same thing so their punter can actually have a little room to move and get his foot into the ball when they punt it away.
Jaden Love on the tackle. He's been all over the field for the Viking defense. Brings up 3rd and 15, ball on the 4. Again, you just got to be a little safe here in your play call. And there's going to be another timeout by Manchester. That's their second one. And we'll take a timeout here. 1:14 left in quarter number 1.
Can't get to a computer? Then we've got you covered. Just go to the IndianaSRN app and stay up to date with all of your favorite teams. You can watch live coverage or relive the experience with our on-demand service.
Spartans just took their second timeout. Got to get organized in this situation. Peyton, 3rd and 15, ball on their own 4. That North Park defense pinning those ears back. Here comes the blitz again. Little slant pass just off the back shoulder for the intended receiver.
And because of that pressure from North Park, the quarterback wasn't able to step into the throw, causing him to throw it a little bit behind his receiver. But they brought the house there, and that's a great call.
And they disguised that blitz really well. He kind of, again, timed it up perfectly across the line of scrimmage. Pressure in Cheney's face and couldn't complete it. Cheney 0 for 3 through the air. Brings up 4th and 15. And on to punt again for Manchester is Aiden Beachy. Beachy sends it there. Fair catch called at the 42-yard line. So North Park with great field position. Again, they've started at the Manchester 46, the Manchester 41, and this one being the Manchester 42-yard line. Only 3 points to show for it, though, Peyton.
Manchester 42-yard.
The Manchester defense has just done a great job responding. That's who the credit is due to for North Park only having 3 points, because they've had plenty of opportunities and they've had the ball a majority of this quarter. But this defense is just stepping up big time after time.
North Park football with the 42-yard line. Eck, the handoff up the middle.
A great job by that defensive line just plugging up those holes there, and it looked like it was a read option. If I was the quarterback, I saw more green on the outside to pull it than to give it, but that's just the risk that you take running a read option offense. Sometimes you're going to make the good reads, sometimes you're going to make the ones that you wish you could get back, and for a minimal gain there, that's a great job by the defense again to step up.
No gain, 2nd and 10 from the 42. Eck drops back the pass, good protection, steps into the throw, has a man down the seam, he caught it! Down to the 1, did he complete the catch? They're going to say he was down all the way to the 1, a 41-yard pass play from Eck to number 3, Jacob Drexler.
And it was just a matter of time for this offense because they've been throwing it deep, it seems like, almost every other play, and eventually one is going to break at some point. And he was able to just get behind that defensive back, and the quarterback threw it over his head.
Vikings hurry up to the line, and it's just a rugby scrum for a touchdown by Matt Eck.
And that is the good old kind of football that you like to see, just two teams having their whole lineup just right in front of each other and seeing who wants it more there.
The rugby scrum touchdown, 1-yard plunge, all set up by a 41-yard pass play to Jacob Drexler. And North Park a extra point away from going on top 10-0. And the kick is blocked. Let's see if Manchester can do anything with it. It's blocked up front, so the kick is no good.
And I'm loving how Manchester is responding to certain things, because obviously you don't want to have to go 3 and out multiple times in a row, and you don't want to get scored on, obviously. But their defense and their special teams now is responding in a way that not most teams would.
Well, it's all set up by this pass play. Peyton, here, break this down for us.
Yeah, as we can see here, they're taking shots time and time again, and he was just able to slip by that DB in what it looks like man coverage, and he was able to just plop it right over top of him for that huge gain to set up their touchdown.
Well, it's the third time in the first quarter that North Park has started a drive in Manchester territory, and they've scored now 2 out of 3 of those possessions. They got a field goal from 30 yards when they started on the 46, and that one, the fair catch from the punt at the 42, and they were able to punch it in from 1 yard. Matt Eck, touchdown. I guess I'll say touchdown run, but touchdown push. He's in the end zone. North Park on top, 9-0.
And you can see that North Park seems to have a little bit of vengeance, probably coming off of the loss for Manchester last year.
So, Messersmith kicks off for North Park. And here comes the Spartans. Runs right into traffic, and he'll go down at the 20-yard line.
This is better field position than what Manchester is used to, so they got to be encouraged with that.
Their starting field position, the 21-yard line, has been the best starting field position they've had. They've started drives from the 12, and the 9. So they got to start sustaining a drive here, putting together some first downs. Be very important for them to string together some offensive success. Only 14 yards of offense in this first quarter for Manchester.
And right about now, I would say, as a coach, is when I would take a shot. It's the end of the quarter. You've been running the whole game. They're probably thinking you're going to run, which is the perfect opportunity to throw it deep.
Dante Cheney hands off to Jalen Love, and Jalen Love nowhere to go. This defense king on that running game, and we'll end the quarter with a 3-yard loss. That'll do it for quarter one. North Park on top of the Spartans, 9-0.
Calling officials cheaters or corrupt, it's not a game.
Insulting referees, it's not a game.
Threatening officials, it's not a game.
Berating young umpires, learning the ropes, it's not a game.
Violent language in the stands, it's not a game.
Verbal abuse from the sideline, it's not a game.
Screaming at a referee in the parking lot, it's not a game.
Spartan Stadium, the home of Manchester University. We start the second quarter of Week 1 football on HCAC TV, powered by IndianaSRN. And the Spartans have the ball, but they face a second down and 11. Cheney, the quarterback, looks left, throws the slant wide open. Catch is made and complete by Jordan Barnett.
And that was a great read by that quarterback, able to find his receiver in a pocket of the zone defense where the defenders weren't at to get themselves set up for a much more manageable third down. A 3rd and 8 is a lot better than a 3rd and 12.
That's the first completion of the year for the Manchester offense. And Barnett just found a soft spot in the zone. Now we have 3rd and 7. Cheney looks to his right. Swing pass out in the flat, and the running back just lost his balance trying to cut back.
Number 2.
And the 5 yards they had, they lost on that one, and it brings up 4th down.
And not an ideal drive for Manchester again, but it'll be interesting to see if their defense can still keep their composure. That right there is what's going to separate them from being a good team and a great team this year. Is exactly what they've done, but a team sometimes can only keep it for so long before they break.
Aiden Beachy now will be kicking into the wind. No rush. End over end tumbling kick. Be fielded by Nieves and swarmed by a gang of Spartans that take him down at the 46-yard line. But once again, the North Park field position sets up nicely, but there was a flag on the play. Let's see if that happened after the kick and the exchange of field possession.
Looks like there's a few flags. As a player lost his helmet there, and something was going on at the back of the play.
Officials discussing this. It's HCAC, the Commissioner Cup. The Commissioner's Cup is a rotating trophy awarded to the institution that garners the most overall all-sports points. Congratulations to Rolls Holman, the 2022-23 winner of the HCAC Commissioner Cup winner. Offsetting penalties. Both teams having a personal foul. So it'll be 1st down for North Park at the 46-yard line. And again, just great field position all day long, Peyton, for North Park.
Yeah, they've had ideal field position all night long here. And on the contrary, Manchester has not really. And maybe that is the deciding factor on why North Park has some momentum going here that they need to feed off of and build off of. And Manchester really hasn't gotten anything going on offense yet.
1st and 10 for North Park Vikings. Matt Eck with a touchdown run in their last possession. Eck drops back to pass. Plenty of protection again. A man wide down the seam, wide open, and can't connect.
And I guarantee the quarterback is wishing that he had that one back, because if he would have gotten it into his receiver's hands, he would have taken that one to the house. He was wide open, nothing but green grass right in front of him. That was a dream route for that receiver.
That was Joseph Callis, who has caught a big 15-yard catch in the first quarter. You got to think, Peyton, they're going to highlight and star that one, and when they need another nice completion and a nice yardage, they're going to come back to that play. 2nd down and 10. High snap. Handoff inside. Big push and move by Marcel Love.
And not only did you have the lineman pushing there, as we saw a little bit of a pancake going on at the end of that play, but that running back kept his feet moving, and he did what all great running backs do, and that's fall forward.
I appreciate both schools having the running back named Love. A lot of love going on, and it makes it easier for us. 3rd down and 7. Looks like the Spartans are going to bring some pressure.
And I would keep our eyes on the top of the screen here with the one-on-one matchup.
Throws off his back foot, and kind of a stop and go thought A.J. Harris kind of cut off his route and saw the ball was over his head, so then came back to the route. You can tell a big difference with Eck when he gets pressure or when he's had time in the pocket. When he has time in the pocket, he's able to step in to throw with confidence. That one he felt a little pressure, threw off his back foot again, and just has had a tough time completing passes with pressure around his feet. 4th down and 7. Will the Vikings go for it, or will Eck scoot back and punt? He's going to take a couple steps back and punt. Gets off a really good punt. It's going to land inside the 5 and roll in the end zone for a touchback.
Punt goes into the end zone.
And back to that 3rd down, as you were saying with the quarterback, he had some discomfort from the penetration of the D-line coming into his face, and he had a nice route that I think would have been open with the hitch and go because the receiver had him beat. He just wasn't able to be patient enough to let the play really develop because of the pressure he had in his face.
1st and 10 from the Spartan 20. And an opportunity for them to get this drive going. Got to get something going early. Get some positive yards here on 1st or 2nd down. Make it a manageable 3rd down. Only 1 first down for Manchester, and that was the very first play that they had on offense. It was a 15-yard run by Dante Cheney. Since then, they've been really stymied on the offensive side of things as Cheney in the shotgun. 3 receivers right, 1 to the left. He's going to pass. Here comes a blitz, and it's knocked away. Picked up by Josiah and Serena Smith, and makes something out of nothing. A fortunate bounce.
And the defense had a beautiful strip sack there, everything that you dream of. I mean, probably people idolizing Dwight Freeney and Robert Mathis growing up there with the good old strip sack, but that running back was in the right place at the right time, and he's able to almost get a 5-yard gain out of it.
Tomahawk chop just as he was getting ready to release the ball. But Ansaria Smith, Johnny on the spot, picks it up and is able to gain positive yards, 4 yards even on the carry. 2nd down and 6. Here's a jet sweep around the left side, crossing the 25.
And great pursuit by that North Park defense. A lot of times a jet sweep can be dangerous if it's blocked right and the runner goes to the right part of the field, but every gap was closed there. He was contained, and he got shoved back in a position to where he had to cut back, and there was somebody waiting on him.
Doriel Moss Jr. on that jet sweep for a yard. 3rd and 5. Let's see if Manchester can get Cheney out on the perimeter with an option to throw or run. That North Park defense has been very good on 3rd down. Here comes some pressure again. Drops the snap. Is able to find his man wide open. That's number 5, LeVar Leisure, a 6'1" senior from Mount Vernon, Illinois, and Wheeler High School. And he picks up a nice gain.
And a few plays in a row now, they're able to make something out of nothing, which is huge for them because they need to respond here to really stay in this one, especially mentally.
Big 14-yard pass play all the way up to the 39-yard line. Their 2nd first down. Handoff up the middle. Tough sledding. This defensive line of North Park has really done a nice job against the run. Jalen Love carries.
The D-line and the linebackers are able to get a lot of penetration here, which is why they have kept them to a minimal gain. But great job by that running back not shying away from any contact there.
A little momentum you can feel now on the side of Manchester. 2nd and 6, starting to get some positive plays on 1st down. Here's Love again around the right side. Breaks a tackle across the 50, and a flag comes flying in.
Number 2, Jalen Love on the carry, brought down by number 10.
And I suspect there's probably a holding back there.
This is going to be the officials talk it over. If it's a holding penalty, that'll move Manchester back, and both the teams are moving in that direction. as the officials talk it over. And that'll be holding on the offensive line. So moving back 10 yards from the spot of the foul. It'll be second down now. And 16.
And I wouldn't be surprised if the Spartans come out here either with their old reliable read option, obviously is in the playbook here, or I wouldn't be surprised if they try to open something up with the outside pass game, because you see on both sides of the field here, especially on the bottom of our screen here, it's a man-on-man matchup.
Man in motion. Cheney drop backs the pass. They set up the screen and read well by the linebacker, number 11, Egan Bender from Mount Zion, Illinois, the 5'8 junior. Read that play perfectly and blew it up.
And a great hit by him as well.
Now, someone asked Peyton if the running back was the intended receiver. Well, why isn't that pass interference?
I would suspect that it's because it's behind the line of scrimmage. I'm not sure if the rules stay the same or not, but I feel like that is what it is, because there was a game where I hit a running back and he was right in front of the line of scrimmage, and the ref said something about him being behind the line of scrimmage with it being different.
Well, regardless, a great pass breakup and brings up a long 3rd and 16. Cheney escapes the pocket against the 3-man rush, is able to break out to the left and get close to the first down. Does he get the spot? The official has given him what I think's a short spot. I thought he got the line to gain. He landed on a defender, but they're going to say he's a yard short.
It looked like he fell forward, so that spot is interesting, but regardless, I wouldn't be surprised if the Spartans go for it here.
Producer Greg Smith is on it with this replay. Here's Cheney flushed out of the pocket. Peyton, let's see if he gets this yard to gain. It's the 49.
And his knee may have stopped short, actually. It depends on where the ball is, but he had his back to the ref, so the ref may have not seen the ball, but it did look like his knee hit short.
I thought that official had a tough angle to mark that ball, but regardless, the Spartans have it now within an opportunity to go for it on 4th and 1, and they have a different quarterback in. It's number 15, Eric James, is in the game. James in the shotgun, looks like pressure coming. The handoff to Love, and he's going nowhere. Big number 99 for North Park, Jonathan Thomas.
And a great effort by this North Park defense, and a great momentum shift as well. So we'll need to see if Manchester's defense can respond how they have been all night long.
Some drive that started off with some promise and gaining a first down. Ultimately dies in the 47-yard line, and here we go again with this North Park field position in Manchester territory again. Wildcat, and that's A.J. Harris keeping it. Peyton, you were mentioning the Wildcat earlier and your experience in it. Tell us at home, what is the Wildcat and what's the advantage?
The advantage with the Wildcat is usually you put somebody in there that is a run-heavy type of person, also in the backfield with your running back, or not, depending on what the coach likes, but also has the ability to pull up and throw. When I was in high school, I played that quarterback, running back position, and we had some plays where I pulled up and threw out of nowhere, and I also ran it up the gut, having my little brother as a running back right next to me. but the defense never knew what was coming.
And they use that scheme to perfection there as they run a nice play by Christopher Armelo. And they hand off to him in a big gain.
Big gain, not for first down,
and a first down all the way to the 21. Rather the 16-yard line, and they stay in that Wildcat formation. Harris carries this time. He crosses the 20 down to the 18.
Number 1, A.J. Harris.
Down to the 12.
And I like this approach by North Park's coach here with the Wildcat because it's moving the ball down the field very, very effectively. And it's keeping the defense on their toes, but it looks like they may have moved back out of it. But great play calling there on their side of the ball.
Here's the handoff up the middle. Diving toward the goal line. A touchdown-saving tackle by Manchester. Reed Huseman carries it all the way inside the 5, and they'll get a first down. First and goal, it looks like from the 2. So a big 10-yard pickup by Huseman. And it'll be first and goal for North Park.
Let's take a break.
We're going to take a short break and come back and see if North Park. Reed Huseman carries it 10 yards all the way down to the Manchester 2-yard line. With North Park taking advantage once again of great field position, trying to punch it in as it's first and goal from the 2. Matt Eck hands the ball off, and good push by the defensive line. Marcel Love nowhere to go.
And exactly what Manchester just did there is what they need to do when North Park has the ball inside the 5, and that's just bring the heat and bring the pressure, because if I was the defensive coordinator, what I would be saying is you're going to have to beat me with the pass here.
Loss of 2 on the play. Marcel Love now 8 carries for 34 yards. Second and goal. Wildcat formation. A.J. Harris fakes the handoff. He tries the left side. He gets a yard.
And great response by this Manchester defense, having their backs against the wall here, but they were fighting hard. And with how close North Park is, I would not be surprised, since they're up by more than a score here, if it's 4-down territory.
Third and goal at the 3. Eck at quarterback. 2 runs right up the middle of the last 2 plays. Not been successful. Eck in the air to throw, out to the flat, through the hands of 2 receivers. He had 2 guys, one short and one long, both at different levels, went through both of their hands. Never really seen that before.
And I think he was looking to the receiver at the back of the end zone, and I think the receiver at the front of the end zone thought it was for him, so him putting his hands up could have potentially just cost them a touchdown with, I mean, nothing wrong with the effort. It just was a little miscommunication with where the quarterback was throwing it.
Well, 4th and 3, they're going to go for it. They're in that Wildcat. A.J. Harris in the shotgun. Here's the give on the end around, and he tries to throw it. It was wide open, Eck in the end zone, but it was incomplete. And how about that? Manchester defense stiffens up at the end of the 5-yard line and prevents a score.
And again, what this defense has been doing really great all night up until this point is their response to negative things. They have positive outcomes with the negative things that are happening to them because they have a short-term memory. And they understand this game is a game of a bunch of highs and lows within the time that they have on the field. So they got to make sure that they have more highs than lows as a defensive unit. And that's exactly what they're doing here, keeping their offense in this one.
That was Jeremy Mbogo, the sophomore from Houston, Texas, who had a big run on that same play earlier, that Wildcat end around for 28 yards. There they tried a little trickeration. Did not work, and now Manchester ball on the 3. Cheney back to pass, goes to air it out, and overthrows everybody.
And it was all due to that pressure that he had in his face. Again, like we saw from Manchester's D, with North Park's quarterback, they get in his face and he throws it off his back foot, and that's exactly what happened with this quarterback. He wasn't able to step into the throw and make a composed decision because he had so many people in his face.
3 for 8 as Cheney threw the air for 14 yards. With 5:01 left here before half. Manchester again has had just tough field position all game long. Here's a throw down the sideline. The receivers are tangled up. Officials letting them play, and they're going to say an incomplete pass. Looked like they both had hands on each other going down the sideline, Peyton.
They really are letting them play here tonight because we've seen a few throws now where the defender and the receivers are getting a little physical with each other, and there hasn't been any yellow laundry on the field after those plays.
LeVar Leisure, the intended receiver, 3rd down and 10 from the 3. Cheney back on both sides, looks downfield, goes a little out pattern, and boy, I tell you, that was read nicely by North Park defensive back.
We got a flag in the backfield here.
Jason Atkinson was right on, and if that pass was on target, he was walking in the house for 6. But a holding penalty against Manchester, if that happened in the end zone, it's going to be a safety, and that's exactly what it was, a safety for the North Park defense. And with 4:50 here to go in the second quarter, a safety gives North Park the lead now at 11-0.
From warehousing to transportation and everything in between, Piper Logistics does it all. Centrally located, Piper Logistics has 2 warehouses in Indianapolis and a warehouse in Cincinnati, Ohio. Piper Logistics houses over 1 million square feet. Along with our transportation department, we can provide service to half the United States markets.
We encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, IndianaSRN. Hit the bell to get notifications for upcoming games and more. Watch as many games as you want, as many times as you want.
Back at Spartan Stadium, Manchester University, North Park scores on the safety on the holding penalty in the end zone, extends their lead to 11-0, and they're going to get the ball back as Beachy's going to have to kick it from the 20. You would think that North Park was going to have excellent field position again to start this drive. Beachy puts a foot into it. Yevis fields it from the 25, crosses the 40 into some traffic, falls forward to the 46, 47-yard line, and again, they'll start around midfield.
And something to keep our eyes on in this game that's going to either make or break these teams is they're getting a little chippy now. And we're seeing some stuff after the play a little more. And if they're able to keep their composure with somebody coming at them, then it'll pay dividends for their team. But if they can't, the penalties are going to eat them.
1st and 10 from the 46-yard line. Eck in the shotgun. Handoff. Number 24 breaks a tackle, upended, but a nice gain by number 24, Quadrell Hill.
That was a nice gain by that running back, finding that hole and hitting it with full steam ahead, but great tackle. What could have been, honestly, a touchdown-saving tackle.
Eck hit behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose some yardage.
And great penetration by that defensive line there. They had their ends just go. They got upfield doing their job, getting in their gaps, containing, whatever it may be, but then they saw that the quarterback was keeping it, and they just beeline towards him, putting North Park in a much more uncomfortable 3rd down situation.
3rd down for the Vikings at midfield. Manchester drops in coverage, swing pass, and did he get enough? Quadrell Hill catches it out of the backfield.
And if that linebacker did not drop his head and dive at his feet, he was able to stop him short, but he would have been 5 yards short if he kept his head up and hit him where he caught the ball.
A 5-yard gain brings up 4th and 1, and they quarterback sneak it. Did he get enough? Did the pile move? The officials unpile everybody. It's going to be close depending on the spot.
By number 8,
It looks like he has enough. And the white hat signals up 1st down for Matt Eck.
1st down and 10, North Park at the Manchester 46-yard line.
3:15 to go before half. North Park trying to add to its lead.
And I would be surprised if they try to take a shot here.
Spartans line up in defense.
Especially at the bottom of our screen here with the one-on-one matchup.
Play action down the seam. There it is, tight end. Joseph Callis.
And again, this quarterback loves to sling it, and he's got a great arm. But he's had these receivers open, and if he just takes a little bit off of it and just a little more time to make a decision, it'll end up in their hands and not on the ground.
I think Callis was so open. If he throws that on a little more straighter line, not so much arc and air under it, I think Callis is catching that and maybe running toward the end zone. The incompletion, 2nd and 10. Ball on the 44. Here's the handoff to Hill. The right side, he breaks a tackle. Crosses the 25 down to the 22.
And just a great run by him. He found the lane on the outside edge, and he just took it and went. And something that these defenders are going to have to get under control is tackling a little high, because this running back will punish you if you tackle that high.
Quadrell Hill came in for the injured Reed Huseman and has been productive. He's had 2 rushes for 30 yards and a catch for 5. And really has a head of steam, runs with some bad intentions. 1st and 10 on the 24. Fake the jet sweep, back to Hill, through the line to the 5, touchdown!
And again, exactly what we just saw the play before this. He found the lane, he hit the hole, and he stepped on the gas and didn't let off at all. And again, these defenders, they were tackling just a little too high with our arms. And as we're going to see here, he hits it behind his pulling guard, and this defender is just way too high on him. He's got too strong of legs to have a defender try to tackle him high.
24-yard touchdown run An injury gives Quadrell Hill an opportunity, and he took advantage. That drive was all him. And the Vikings kick the extra point. It's up, and it's good.
Number 30, Michael Mester's
And North Park now leads by a score of 18-0.
Manchester 0.
HCAC.TV. Follow your favorite school on HCAC.TV, powered by IndianaSRN. IndianaSRN, where you always have a front row seat. 2:10 to go, and for halftime, North Park extends its lead to 18-10. Manchester will have an opportunity, and really a good opportunity, Peyton. If they can score here, they get the ball come to the second quarter and double up on this score. Fair catch inside the 10-yard line. That'll be for a safety reason, take him out to the 20-yard line, I believe.
And just like you were saying, if they're able to capitalize on this drive, score a touchdown, get it back after half, and score a touchdown, they're right back in this thing. But they need to start with one drive at a time, one play at a time. They need positive yards every play. They need to know where they are with the situation with the clock, and they need to get this ball in the end zone.
I think because he fumbled the kickoff and he didn't field it cleanly, they're going to mark the ball all the way at the 9-yard line. So field position again for Manchester. A big problem. Cheney keeps it this time on the option. He pitches outside. And a short gain by Durrell Moss Jr.
And there's a specific way to defend the read option, and North Park is doing a really great job at it. And it's you have a specific man. Like I said earlier tonight, the defensive end usually takes the quarterback, and outside linebacker usually takes the running back or the pitch man. And if neither one of them are able to get to their guys, the closest man, in this case the corner, then takes the pitch man. And you also have the dive player as well.
2nd down and 9. Letting the play clock go down. Cheney needs to hike it. Did they get it off in time? Just barely. And it's a quarterback run, but nothing doing to the right side. How about North Park? Eric Woosney.
Cheney on the carry. He is brought down by number 20.
In his defensive end spot, brings him down in a big loss.
And I suspect that we'll probably see another dive here to give their punter a little bit of room.
Loss of 6 for Cheney. And North Park's going to start using some timeouts to save some time, because if they can get this stop here on 3rd down and force Manchester to punt, they're going to have field position again around midfield, Peyton.
They've had great returns on their special teams as well, so if they're able to get another one of those and get into position, they could start to make this game look like it's going to be unreachable for Manchester.
Manchester has had a tough time moving the ball, has had a tough time getting across midfield and into North Park territory. It's going to be 3rd and 18 from the 2-yard line with 1:15 left before half. Offense takes the field. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Cheney in the shotgun. You got to think maybe he's going to take a shot. Last time they were in this position, there was a safety because of a holding. Love carries it across the 5, gives a little breathing room out to the 6, a 4-yard gain. And let's see if North Park's going to call another timeout, stop the clock.
It looks like they just did. Yep.
And they sure did. They now have one more timeout left, each team with a timeout. But that was a big run for Love because it gives the punter a little extra room, and with the wind in his face, he's going to need as much room to kick as possible.
It was just a great football IQ play with the running back getting positive yards there, and something that I suspect we'll see in the second half after Manchester makes some adjustments is the ability to capitalize in situations, because their defense is playing great with some situations that they have been given, making some crucial stops, but they need their offense's help with them capitalizing and putting points on the board.
4th down and 14
for the rest of the game.
From the 6-yard line.
And
back to field is Juan Nieves from Carrollton, Georgia. He's a 6-foot, 195-pound junior. Here's Beachy. A high kick. Nieves fair catches, and he'll collect it around the 40-yard line.
And again, they got great field position here. All they need is 39 yards to get into the end zone, or 40. It looks like they placed it on the 40 to get into the end zone here. And it might put it a little out of reach if they get into the end zone here with how North Park has been able to move the ball and prevent Manchester from moving the ball.
Once again, North Park starting drives in Manchester territory. 61 seconds before halftime, you have one timeout left. 3 receivers to the right. Maddock in the shotgun. Marcel Love behind him, now moves to his right. Eck back to pass, has time, steps up, throws, has a slant, and it's caught. And a nice catch.
And there's a noticeable difference in the ball thrown there. You could see the quarterback power through his back foot and get the line of the ball down a little bit more. He was able to complete it instead of overthrowing him.
When he has time and he's able to step into throws, you can tell a difference. Here's a swing pass out to Love. And Marcel Love with a 2-yard gain.
Pass is complete to number 2, Marcel Love. He is brought down by
and I bet we'll see a shot to the end zone here, either on the outside or over the middle of the field.
And another pass complete. This one's to A.J. Harris.
Pass is complete to number 13.
And I'd have our eyes on number 7 here and number 1 for North Park as the receivers.
North Park going a little faster now. And a flag for a false start. 3rd penalty against North Park. And that'll move him back with 27.9 seconds.
Number 7. 5-yard penalty. Still 3rd down.
Call that also on the wide receiver. Seldom do you see wide receivers move early. All they got to do is look in and watch the ball. Brings up 3rd down and 7. Egg drops back to pass. Here's some pressure, steps up in the pocket, finds A.J. Harris, spins out of a tackle, crosses the 10. He's going to get a 1st down. A.J. Harris will get a 10-yard pass play out of that.
Number 1, A.J. Harris on the reception, brought down by number 15, Jamal
And just a great play by him there, able to make a few moves and get a 1st down out of that, a 1st and goal.
Clock runs, 14 seconds. Are they going to clock it? They're going to go shot for the end zone. Here it is. Eck the pass, looking for the corner. He's got Harris in the pylon. Can't come down with it.
Pass drops, incomplete.
And that was just right through his hands. That was a great ball by the quarterback, but him jumping up, it just slipped right through.
Harris landed down, might have knocked the wind out of him. He's going to stay down for a little bit. Tough play for him. We'll take a short break and come back and finish up these last 5.8 seconds of the first half. Welcome back to Spartan Stadium, Manchester University. The hospitality here at Manchester Peyton is second to none. What an awesome job they do at hosting us, and we appreciate everything that they do and getting us information and taking care of us, and we thank them for that. As A.J. Harris hopefully is able to return to the game after halftime. 5.8 seconds left. Field goal attempt by Michael Messersmith. He's made 2 extra points, this one from 25 yards. Kick is up, and it is through the uprights. And with 1.8 seconds remain in the second quarter, Michael Messersmith adds to the lead.
And that was a great strategy by the coach there, because obviously they could have gone for the touchdown, but guaranteeing them to be up by 3 full scores now with the field goal unit is a great call.
Up 3 with 21-0. It seems like Manchester has struggled, but yet you look at the scoreboard and you think, oh, man, if they just score, they're right there. They're not far out of it. Just got to get some offense going. Try to get a big splash play. Their longest play was their first one that they had of the game, was a 15-yard run by Dante Cheney. Since then, everything's been under 15 yards. As North Park sets to kick off with 1.8 seconds, probably a squib kick to end the half. And that's exactly what he does. He keeps it on the ground. It's going to roll around. Taken by number 25. That's Cameron Hovey. And he'll take a knee, and that'll do it for the first half. With North Park on top 21-0. Here's how the scoring has gone. With 11:15 in the first quarter, Michael Messersmith has kicked a 30-yard field goal, and North Park was on top 3-0. With 7 seconds left in quarter number 1, a Matt Eck 1-yard touchdown run. The extra point was blocked, but North Park extended their lead to 9-0. In the second quarter, with 4:50 remaining, there was a safety as that offensive holding in the end zone gave 2 points to North Park, and they were up 11-0. The following possession, Quandrell Hill from 24 yards out sprints to the end zone. The extra point good, gives North Park an 18-0 lead. And with 1.8 seconds in the first half, a 25-yard field goal from Michael Messersmith, his second of the game, takes us to 21-0, and that's where we'll stop at halftime. Peyton, first half thoughts for both teams.
I got one thought for each team, and it's that for Manchester to come back into this, they need to be able to capitalize on what their defense is able to do for them. And for North Park, if the quarterback especially is able to just get the ball down a little bit when he's throwing those deep balls that are open consistently, it seems like they'll be able to put this game away pretty easily.
No turnovers so far, but the biggest concern is field position. North Park starting around midfield, and a lot of Manchester's drives starting from the 20 or in. And that's going to have to be flipped for Manchester in this second half. We'll take a short break and come back and visit with Dr. Stacy Young, the president of Manchester University. We're excited to have her on HCAC TV, powered by IndianaSRN.
At Morales Group Staffing, we are all about building better futures. And during these times, we are working hard to put people to work. We are now hiring for hundreds of jobs with pay up to $17 an hour. Visit our website at moralesgroup.net or text JOBS, JOBS, to 317-472-7600 to apply now and get hired today.
I'm Keith Myers, Vice President of IndianaSRN. Thanks for joining us. Do you know IndianaSRN broadcasts 350 games a year? All sorts of sports? Yeah, we do. Hard to believe, isn't it? IndianaSRN loves to put student athletes first on our website. If you're a business out there, we probably could help you too. Contact us at coach@indianasrn.org. Grandma from out of state thanks you. Mom and Dad who can't get to the game thanks you as well. In fact, our athletes watch the games over and over again. Our military has enjoyed the games as well. So sit back and enjoy the game. It's IndianaSRN.
Welcome back to Manchester University Spartan Stadium. The Spartans trailing North Park 21-0 at half as the pride of Manchester takes the field for a halftime performance. And joining me is the pride of Manchester as well, Dr. Stacy Young, who's our, introduced July 1st. Tell us about your journey to Manchester University.
It started 30 years ago,
wow,
31 years
awesome.
ago. I'm a 1996 accounting grad.
Oh, that's great. That's great. And so that took you to where after you left Manchester?
I ran some companies, and I most recently was the president at another college up in Michigan, and heard about the opening of my alma mater, and it felt like I was called to come home.
You couldn't pass that up,
no,
right?
Couldn't pass it up.
What a great homecoming, and certainly being a alma mater, just family, friends, just a special time for you.
It really is. It's an amazing feeling walking campus. Some things are very much the same.
Oh, I bet.
Some things have changed a lot, but it feels good to be home.
Well, and being home is tremendous. As a president, where do you kind of envision the university moving here in the near future under your presidency?
Well, I'm a big community person, so we hope to design more pathways right from our area high schools, so we can get more of our Wabash County students staying right here at Manchester University. You know, it's really marvelous when you have a university right in your county. So we want to definitely leverage that.
Well, and there's a lot of positive with that. Just being here on campus, and you see, all the spirit, you see the student body. What a great crowd that we have for week one of the action, and being a part of that community is special as well. I know I'm in education myself, so having that partnership with a local college speaks volumes.
Yes, it's really tremendous, and I can't say enough. I got here right before the game started. I couldn't find a seat. It's terrific. I mean, the stands are packed today, and our marching band is out. It's a terrific night.
It certainly is. When the weather has cooperated, everything is great, and you even have some people in the grassy knoll there on the north part of the track in the field over near the concession stands. It's a lot of fun. How important, as we talk about athletics, how important is athletics to the culture here at the university?
It's very important. More than half of our students are student athletes. And, what I love about athletics at a university is that it connects students in a way and helps them be retained at a higher level. Often our students have higher GPAs because they're connected, and part of them being a student athlete is they have to study and keep up their grades.
Yeah.
So we're really blessed to have a strong student body that has athletics at the forefront, but we have other things for students like our marching band and other things for students to get involved with.
Well, and being a part of a team and being part of band or whatever club or organization is, that's that family atmosphere, that family culture, and I think that's very important. I think that's also you see that when you just walk on campus.
Absolutely. And all week the football players moved in a few weeks ago, and as soon as the football players hit campus, it felt like a whole different environment. We're really blessed, and they have helped with so many things. It just wasn't football practice. They helped with all of our other move-ins that happened, and they did community service, and I just love that. I love that.
It's a great way to give back, and it's a great way for those young men and to be a part of it and get engaged with everyone on campus. It sure is awesome. Well, hey, we'd like to thank you for coming up. Anything else you want to add? How's your family? Your family's good?
Family's great. We had a couple of our grandkids here tonight, and they were enjoying the cone of ice that we had, and so it's been a great evening. I'm glad to be here.
Well, and we're excited to have the partnership with HCAC TV. We'll be back for the next 2 weeks as we're here at Spartan Stadium to help get the Manchester University on the IndianaSRN network and HCAC TV. We'd like to thank you for coming up.
Thank you so much for having me.
So nice to meet you. Halftime score: North Park ahead of Manchester, 21-0.
You're good at making big announcements.
We're good at your insurance.
Start with Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance, online, over the phone, or in person, and stop knocking on wood.
We encourage you to follow us on Twitter at IndianaSRN. Find upcoming games, video highlights, and much more. Follow us now at IndianaSRN. We encourage you to follow us on Twitter at IndianaSRN. Find upcoming games, video highlights, and much more. Follow us now at IndianaSRN.
The pride of Manchester, belting it out for the home crowd. Week 1 of college football on HCAC TV, powered by IndianaSRN. Let's take a look at some of the halftime stats for North Park. Quarterback Matt Eck has thrown for 100 yards, no touchdowns. But Eck has 100 yards on the evening. Marcel Love, the running back, has 8 rushes for 34 yards. A.J. Harris has 5 rushes for 4 yards. Reed Hussman had 2 rushes for 10 yards. Quadrell Hill came in and scored a touchdown from 24 yards. He has 3 rushes for 54 yards. Jermaine Obongo has 1 rush for 28 yards. Matt Eck, the quarterback, has a quarterback keeper for a touchdown. And Carson Blatchford, the punter, on a fake punt for 25 yards. Receiving-wise for North Park, A.J. Harris has 1 catch for 10 yards. Jacob Drexler has 2 catches for 62 yards. Joseph Callis has 1 catch for 15 yards. Brian Boyd, 1 catch for 6 yards. Marcel Love, 1 catch for 2 yards. And Quadrell Hill, 1 catch for 5 yards. Meanwhile, if we look at Manchester, passing was by Dante Cheney, the quarterback. Cheney is 3 for 9 for 14 yards. Rushing, Jalen Love has 7 carries for 12 yards. Dante Cheney, 4 carries for 19 yards. Duriel Moss Jr. has 2 carries for 2 yards. And Josiah and Serena Smith has 3 carries for 1 yard. Receiving, LeVar Leisure has 1 catch for 4 yards. Jordan Barnett has 1 catch for 5 yards. And Jalen Love caught a pass for -5. And so if we take a look at the stats and we take a look at the halftime score, kind of indicative of what the stats say, 21-0 North Park. And field position making a big difference in this contest. We'll take another short break and come back and learn some scores from around the area. It's HCAC TV, and it's North Park on top of Manchester, 21-0.
Your hauling or moving project has arrived, and College Hunks Hauling, Junk, and Moving has you covered. Honest. Uniformed. Nice. Knowledgeable. Service. College Hunks Hauling, Junk, and Moving.
Can't get to a computer? Then we've got you covered. Just go to the IndianaSRN app and stay up to date with all of your favorite teams. You can watch live coverage or relive the experience with our on-demand service.
Spartan Stadium here at the home of Manchester University. North Park on top, 21-0. As we take a look at some of the scores around the area, and we also talk about this first half. Peyton Brown with me, along Clark Chafin, Greg Smith, and Micah Ware. Happy to bring you the action. Peyton, we look at the first half, and again, North Park on top, 21-0, as some of the players start to come back out from halftime and get loose. What are going to be some of the second half adjustments for these teams as we look to the third quarter of action?
I would say the number one adjustment for North Park is kind of two things wrapped into one, and that is they need to utilize the run more to set up their pass, because eventually Manchester will catch on to the pass of North Park and what they're able to do with that passing and attack. And then for Manchester, the only adjustment I would say that they really need is figuring out a way to capitalize when their defense makes stops, because their defense has made some really good, tough spots in situations that were not ideal. But unfortunately, they haven't really found a rhythm on offense quite yet.
And that rhythm is something that they will need to find, and hopefully some halftime adjustments. They're able to get some drives, sustain some drives, as we have a couple of scores for you from our earlier broadcast. Olivet beats Franklin at Franklin by a score of 35-32. So week one there in the HCAC conference, Franklin goes down at home to Olivet in a very close game, 35-32. And also some other scores we're working on. DePaul at Rose home. And if we look also the schedules while we're pulling that up, North Park next week has a bye. How about that, Peyton? Week 2, you go straight to a bye. And I think you probably want to keep playing, especially how well you're playing in that first half.
Yeah, exactly. North Park after this week, I could totally see them wanting to play. And me as a player, when I was in it, I always like to have the bye week like mid-season just about, because you find a way to get your rhythm going throughout the season, and you're really finding who you are as a team in those beginning weeks. And able to have a break right in the middle is vital in my opinion. But having a break this early in the season could be good as well, because they're able to see what does work and what doesn't work in that first game. And they're able to really nail down on the fundamentals like this coach was wanting through that bye week.
Week 3 on September the 16th, they're at against Carroll University. And week 4 on September the 23rd, they're at home with Millikan University. And then September the 30th, week 5, they're at Wash University in St. Louis. Meanwhile, for the home team, Manchester Spartans, next week they're at home versus Alma. And then September the 16th, week 3, is at Greenville against Greenville here at Manchester. And we will be here as well, covering those games for you on the network. And then week 4, September 23rd, they have a bye. And then September the 30th, week 5, they are at Mount St. Joseph, the Mount, an HCAC opponent. And we have one score from DePaul at Rolls-Holman. DePaul up 17-7. So a tight one there, also on HCAC TV. We'll take a break and come back as these both respective teams finish up halftime and get ready for the third quarter of action. North Park leading Manchester 21-0.
Your hauling or moving project has arrived, and College Hunks Hauling, Junk, and Moving has you covered. Honest. Uniformed. Nice. Knowledgeable. Service. College Hunks Hauling, Junk, and Moving.
Can't get to a computer? Then we've got you covered. Just go to the IndianaSRN app and stay up to date with all of your favorite teams. You can watch live coverage or relive the experience with our on-demand service.
Week 1 of HCAC.TV, powered by IndianaSRN, is in Manchester University, where Manchester Spartans host the North Park Vikings as the Vikings are coming out at halftime and starting to get loose. You know, Peyton, today is September the 2nd. September the 2nd is National Tailgating Day and National Play Outside Day.
I love it. I love it. National Tailgating Day, no better way to get ready for a football game as a fan. And then National Play Outside Day, the kids now more than ever need to hear that because they are the generation that was raised behind a screen, which technology is good and great and everything, but something that made football what it was, in my opinion, is having kids who grew up in the mud, playing with rocks, playing with sticks, fishing barehanded, whatever it may be, just creating that natural grit. So I love National Play Outside Day.
And National Tailgating Day goes hand in hand with Week 1 of college football. What is Peyton's go-to tailgating food?
My go-to tailgating food.
Are you a brat guy? Do you like the burgers?
Ooh, I love a good old brat, but nothing beats a perfectly grilled hamburger.
A good hamburger is tough to beat. And it's definitely up on my list. You know, when I tailgate, there's not a lot of sides because, you know, you got to have room for the meat. and you know, as a guy, it's easier to grill than make a side. Personally, I'm not making potato salad by any stretch of the means. That's a run to Kroger. But it's a lot of fun to tailgate. And National Play Outside Day, as you said, you know, I can remember going to high school football games and not really watching the game because we were playing football ourselves. On the side. So a lot of fun doing that. As Manchester comes out of the locker room, they'll get stretched out and ready to go. And hopefully they can get some of this offense going. Manchester's going to receive the second half kickoff, Peyton. And hopefully get us a drive sustained, get a series of first downs, continue to have positive plays on first down so they don't get behind the sticks, don't get those holding penalties where you're forced at a 2nd and 15 or a 2nd and 20, and get some first downs and move that ball. You got to open up the passing game as well. Only 3 passes completed for 14 yards. Really got to make something through the air.
Yeah, as a football team, you cannot be one-dimensional. You have to utilize everything you have with every player that you have. And North Park has done heavy passing, a little running, but they've been pretty effective running as well. But Manchester has only relied on the run. And if something's not working, you really got to start to think about other things. And I think it could be really good for Manchester if they spread this North Park defense out a little bit with their passing game and they find a rhythm and they're able to take a few shots for a momentum switch.
Hey, you wonder if, not saying that Dante Cheney hasn't done a good job, but Trevor O'Brien played in this game last year as a quarterback for the Spartans and threw for 170 yards and a touchdown and led Manchester to the victory. So at least he's an option out there as well for Coach Hunt. And Eric James had been actually on a one play, was on there on a 4th down play near midfield, around the 49-yard line. It looks like the wind has died down as well, so that might not be a big as factor as we thought it would earlier in the game, as the sun has settled on the horizon. The field is in complete darkness now. The lights are starting to come on the field, and we're getting set for second half action here at Spartan Stadium.
And it'll be interesting to see what Manchester decides to do on offense here, as, like we said, they weren't able to find a rhythm in the first half.
Messersmith kicks off. It goes into the end zone, and he's going to return it out. Gets it out to the 9-yard line.
And it looks like North Park was able to lay a great hit on there, and I think he returned it because he dropped it in the end zone and had to run and pick it up.
So not catching it cleanly. And again, field position starting at the 9-yard line. They started at the 9-yard line. This will be the 3rd time in the game they've started. Their best starting field position was the first time they got the ball at the 21. But they're bringing the juice on the sidelines, cheering for the offense. They need to bring the juice here in the second half. As Dante Cheney gets behind center. He's in the shotgun. Time to blitz, and the flag comes down. Maybe there's an offsides. I thought maybe they was a little ahead of that blitz. Let's see if that anticipation maybe had a movement from the offensive lineman, and that's what he did, an offensive penalty, a false start.
And again, Manchester is in a little too familiar of a territory now with the ball inside the 5 now. They got a long drive ahead of them if they're going to drive this field.
That'll be 1st and 15 now from the 5. 4th penalty for Manchester for 23 yards. No turnovers is a positive, though, for the Spartans. Here's a handoff to Love, and going nowhere. Again, brought down by big number 99, Jonathan Thomas, from his defensive tackle spot, fills that gap.
And it looks like they may have even met him behind the line of scrimmage, and he lost a little bit there, which is just a great job by this North Park defense. But again, like we were talking, Manchester could probably benefit from opening up their passing playbook here.
2nd and 16.
I'd have our eye on the middle receiver here.
Cheney looks left, getting pressure, rolls to his right. He escapes, and he'll go out of bounds at the 10-yard line. So a good 6-yard run by Dante Cheney.
And at least giving him a chance here now on 3rd down, because before what we had was about like a 3rd and 16. Now we're at a manageable 3rd and 10. He has room in the backfield to move around if he needs to now.
Good pocket presence there by Cheney. Felt the pressure, felt the rush, knew that there was room around the right side, and is able to make something out of nothing. 3rd and 10 from the 9. Here comes some pressure. Cheney steps up in the pocket, and he'll be tackled from behind. Again, Jaden Miller all over the place from his linebacker spot. But it's enough for a 1st down. And a big run by Cheney to get that 1st down. So 1st and 10 from the 20. Cheney in the shotgun. Man in motion. They jet sweep. And that is Duriel Moss Jr.
Junior on the carry, brought down by number 7.
And a 6-yard gain for Duriel.
Butler.
And they have a little bit of momentum here because of that play made by the quarterback, and they're able to get some positive yards off of this with their run game.
Manchester can score a touchdown here, give a little life and a little confidence. I think they just need some confidence right now, Peyton. That'll go a long way. Here's a handoff up the middle for Love, diving forward to the 29. That's a good gain for him.
Number 2, Jalen Love on the carry.
And this third down will be huge for Manchester to convert because they really need to get something going here on this first drive of this half. But I wouldn't be surprised if we saw North Park bring the house here and bring some pressure, as they have done very well at tonight.
They've been very successful at putting pressure in that A gap right by the center and really causing disruption with the Manchester offense with that particular blitz. There's the option again. They hand it off. Breaks a tackle and a first down for Love.
And a great run by him just to get enough for the first down. And if he was able to keep his feet a little bit, he probably would still be running right now. But regardless of anything there, the Spartans desperately needed that conversion.
Another first down for Manchester, their second. This drive started on the 9-yard line. And we're at 1st and 10 from the 36. Quarterback Dante Cheney making some plays with his legs in the passing game as he's able to escape the pressure. Here's another option. This time the defense was ready for it from North Park. 94, Terrence Bircher from Houston, Texas. All right there to bring him down.
And again, this defense is just having a ton of success with defending the right guys on the option, because like we talked about in the first half, you have one guy on the quarterback, one guy in the pitch man, and then one guy on the dive man. And if you have all of them covered plus your gaps covered like North Park has been able to do tonight, the option doesn't really go anywhere.
2nd and 13 after that loss of 3. Cheney back to pass. Here comes the pressure. And the defender goes through the offensive player, but he was going after the ball. I think the offensive player knew the pass was coming to him.
It looked like they had a little miscommunication there.
Yeah, LeVar Leisure, the intended receiver, didn't have his head turned around as Cheney had to throw it because of the pressure he was under. And a great play by the defensive back of North Park. I think that was number 25, Amar Johnson. 3rd and 13. Cheney steps up in the pocket. Now he gets hit, and he'll be sacked and go down. Quarterback sacked by North Park's Dylan Hughes. 5'10", 305 sophomore from Houston, Texas, Shadow Creek High School.
Wow, that's a big boy there, and that whole D-line is big as well, and they're again able, time after time tonight, able to get some pressure on this quarterback.
4th and 17, a drive that started off after a couple of first downs has stalled. And out to punt is Aiden Beachy. Beachy angles it to the right side. Takes a Spartan bounce. And I don't know what Nieves is trying to do, but it's going to be down at the 36-yard line. That's kind of dangerous for Nieves. The ball's rolling and a bunch of Spartans around there to try to touch the ball.
Yeah, I'm not sure at all what was going on there, because you could hear everybody on their sideline yelling, "Peter, Peter," or "get away from it." And I guess he just wanted to play defense there for a second.
I don't know, but anyway, it's North Park football at the 36-yard line. as they start the second half, up 21-0. Eck gives the handoff to Love and caught in the backfield. Initial contact by James Hubbard.
And this running back has done a great job tonight at being patient and finding a hole and then hitting it when he finds it. But right there, he may have tried to be a little too patient because he had a little opening, but it closes in a split second. And those defenders were able to capitalize on it and close the gap.
Jamal Hubbard on the tackle. Loss of 1. The second down. Defense has been in some difficult spots. They've held up. Here's a long throw down the field, incomplete, overthrown, looking for A.J. Harris. Again, Eck kind of throwing off his back foot when he gets pressure. He hasn't been as accurate, and good job with the Manchester defense. Now with forcing a third down.
Great job by the Manchester defense. Again, they're bailing their offense out if they're able to get this ball back again. Being in that quarterback's face, like you said, he had to throw it off his back foot and wasn't able to make a good throw to his receiver.
Eck checks the sideline to see if the defense moved at all and changed the plays. Here comes the snap. Again, throws off his back foot, a wheel route. This time it's caught and complete. A nice catch by Jacob Drexler.
A great pass there, and it looks like the quarterback may have gotten hit after.
There's a flag on the backfield. Could be hitting the quarterback late. Could be a hold. Let's see what they're going to say. It looks like they're talking to the Manchester sideline, and they'll accept that penalty as it'll be a hold on North Park. Their fourth penalty. And a big play negated by the hold. Now you go from 3rd and 11 to 3rd and 21.
Result of the holding penalty will be 3rd down and 21 for the Vikings. With the ball at their own 25-yard line.
Expect maybe a draw or a little screen pass here, Peyton?
I'd expect a draw, screen pass, or at the bottom of our screen, we have a one-on-one matchup that I think he will take.
They haven't been afraid to throw it deep. Manchester shows blitz.
I'd suspect either a fade at the bottom of the screen or a post in the middle.
He's going to air it out. He has a man who's got a step, and it's complete to the 20, the 10, touchdown, North Park.
And that was just an amazing throw by that quarterback. He was able to get time this time, and he was able to step into the throw. And like we've seen, he is a gunslinger and able to throw it. And
caught by Jeremy Obongo, number 48.
Number 48, Jeremy Obongo.
It appears we have a flag down.
Sideline warning on North Park for this. Don't tell me it says it's an important warning. Touchdown.
And a 75-yard touchdown pass to Jeremy Obongo on a 3rd and 21. Extends this Viking lead. What a play. Took what the defense gave him. And another penalty, as the flag during that touchdown was a sideline warning on North Park. False start on North Park. They were going to move it back 5 yards, and they'll try the extra point. Michael Messersmith from Rockmart, Georgia, South Paulding High School, 5'7", 160 junior. So extra point will come now from the 25. And he missed it. No good. The second extra point missed. North Park extends the lead to 27-0. That's the only negative things. 2 missed extra points, but we see this one-on-one coverage, Peyton.
Yeah, he had the one-on-one coverage that he capitalized on, and like I said before, the quarterback just had nobody in his face. He was able to step into the throw, and the receiver had a step on him, as we saw in that replay, and he was able to take it for 6.
Once Matt Eck has had time and stepped into his throws, he's delivered some really nice passes, but when he gets some pressure, throws off that back foot, the accuracy isn't there. That time, the offensive line gave him a good pocket. They picked up the blitz. We had 3 receivers in the route, all in one-on-one go routes. Drops it in the bucket to Jeremy Mbongo for a 75-yard touchdown pass. And North Park trying to avenge last year's loss goes up 27-0.
And this drive by Manchester could be the defining drive for the game, because if they're not able to put any points up and North Park comes back and puts points up, it could be game.
Well, so far that Manchester offense hasn't been a quick strike team, as they get a nice return up to the 28. Best field position for Manchester to start a drive all game long. 7:56 left to go here in the third quarter.
And for Manchester, they already have one thing going for them this drive, and it's better field position. And them coming out, if they're able to find a rhythm either in the run or pass, just something, they need some momentum here.
1st and 10. Dante Cheney still in at quarterback. And the option, they give it to Love, and then they end around to Moss Jr.
And a great read by that quarterback point. He faked me out. I thought the running back had it.
I did too. Nice timing on that play. Moss Jr. using his athleticism to get around the corner. In a big 17-yard run. Give Moss Jr. 25 yards rushing on 4 carries. Cheney back to pass, climbs the pocket, eludes a tackler, throws it behind, and that's going to be a lateral.
And a loss of yards.
And a loss of yards. That was threw it behind the Love. Boy, if he could have made that pass, so Love had nothing in front of him. I think that's why Cheney threw him the ball.
And if he was able to pitch him the ball or flick it to him, he would have had an easier go at getting it to him. But he threw a line drive at him.
Wasn't much he could do with that one. I don't think he was ready for it and kind of standing flat-footed. And if he gave it a little more touch, as you said, Peyton, 2nd down and 11. And some miscommunication, and we got another false start penalty on Manchester. The HCAC academic athletes, hey, the Heartland takes academics very seriously. Our athletes each must maintain a 3.5 grade point average. Each year, over 1,000 student athletes carry at least a cumulative 3.5 GPA and are named to the HCAC All-Academic Team. So congratulations to those student athletes. It would have taken me probably 3 semesters to total that up, so I appreciate their hard work in the classroom for those student athletes. And you heard Dr. Young at halftime talk about how they hold each other accountable and create that family atmosphere. Love carries down a 6-yard gain.
Now again, they're in a similar territory to where they've been all night, and it's a 3rd and long here. And I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a longer pass come out here. They've done a nice job on a few occasions where they have had a receiver who found a gap in this zone defense that North Park runs. and the quarterback's able to use his feet and make the throw. But it'll be interesting to see what they do here.
3rd and 10. Love got all that penalty back from the holding call. Back to pass, pump fakes to the middle, and it's caught. Moss Jr., a 15-yard reception. And Duriel Moss, his first catch, he's getting into the offense now. And what a great throw. That was a tight window that Cheney put that through. A little bit behind Moss, but that was the only place he could catch it. And the first time the Spartans are in Viking territory. There's the option again, Love in the middle. Almost breaks a tackle. But a good hole opened up on that left side of that offensive line.
And now we've seen a little bit of a momentum switch here, which the Spartans just need to keep feeding off of that. They need their leaders and their experienced players to step up to bring the younger players with them as they're trying to push for a comeback here.
Peyton, they're bringing the juice.
They need to be bringing the juice. They're bringing it on the sideline, as we can hear. They need to keep bringing it on offense.
2nd and 4 here, getting the option. Hitting the running back on the dive is Josiah and Serena Smith. And he's close to a first down. They're going to mark him a yard short. Gain of 3.
Number 26, Josiah and Serena Smith on the carry.
Another 3rd down. Got to convert. And I think they're finding a quicker tempo here on this offense, and it's suiting them well.
They're finding a great rhythm within that no-huddle offense, so I wouldn't be surprised if they stuck to it.
Here comes the blitz up the middle, and he breaks it through the blitz. And Serena Smith comes to the outside, inside the 10 to the 8. A big run by Josiah and Serena Smith.
And what a momentum shift in them being able to feed off of each other in this moment. And now they need to finish off this drive. They've had a phenomenal drive. Being able to have a short memory with everything that's happened, they need to capitalize here.
24 yards on 3rd and 1. And now the Spartans are inside the goal line, or inside the 10-yard line. It's 1st and goal from the 8. Smith again, and he's tripped up. Boy, and I think Cheney realized if he kept that, there was no one in front of him. As we see this last 3rd down play, what do you see here, Peyton?
Yeah, the running back just finds a hole, and he has some people over-pursue him. He breaks a few tackles, and then he just keeps going outside, and he realizes that he's got to fall forward here to get them inside the 10-yard line.
Jeff Fisher in on that tackle for North Park to bring him down and save a touchdown. No gain on that last play by Anserina Smith. It's 2nd and goal from the 8. Play clock down to 3. And they're going to not get it off in time. So a 5-yard penalty pushes him back. That's now 6 penalties for Manchester.
And the penalties have been the hugest setback for the Spartans tonight. But still, like mentioned already, they need to capitalize here, so they got to have a short memory with the mistakes and mental errors made.
Move it back to the 13-yard line, 2nd and goal from the 13. Under 3 minutes left here in the 3rd. Here comes some pressure from the right side. The back picks it up. Cheney has to throw it earlier than what he wanted.
That goes incomplete.
Incomplete, brings up 3rd down. Good job by Anserina Smith to try to pick up that blitz.
Great rush by the defense, too, to force an uncomfortable throw for that quarterback.
Seems like North Park's coming with a lot of pressure, and if Manchester can get through that first wave through those defensive linemen and blitzing linebackers, then there's opportunities for big plays for them.
Yes, there is a bunch of opportunities for big plays for them here. And they need to be able to find something here at the end of this drive.
Play clock going down. They're going to throw a fade to the corner. And what a catch! Did he make it? The referee says he was out of bounds and incomplete. Jordan Barnett did a fantastic job of turning his body and going over his left shoulder.
And that was a great effort there, and I wonder, as we see this replay, it looks like he dragged his feet, only if there was instant replay for college football.
I thought that was a good touchdown. But the official said, had a closer look at it than me, said he was out of bounds. It'll be 4th down. And there's going to be a timeout by Manchester, a good call considering the play clock was down to 1. Why sponsor HCAC TV? Well, for exposure, you gain visibility among our dedicated audience, for community engagement, and show your commitment to our cause. There's customizable packages which we can tailor sponsorship options to meet your needs. For more information on our sponsorship opportunities and to discuss how we can help each other, please reach out to us at coach@IndianaSRN.org. That's coach, COACH, at IndianaSRN.org. From the 13, Manchester's going for it. 2:36 left in the third. Cheney in the shotgun. Looks to the left, throwing the fade again. Broken up, no flag on the play. As the defensive back face guarding the entire time.
And a disappointing end to a promising drive there for the Spartans.
Feels like the air was let out of the balloon, doesn't it?
It does, and it almost maybe feels like to them, as we've seen, that they got robbed out of a touchdown.
4th down will be a changeover on downs. North Park will take over at the 13-yard line with 1st and 10. Now the defense has to respond after kind of that letdown of not converting on 1st and goal from the 8.
And I suspect that we'll see a lot more runs out of North Park here. Now that they're up by this much, they're probably just desiring to run this clock out a little bit.
Quadrell Hill gets the carry. No gain. It'll be 2nd down. Hill with a 24-yard touchdown run in the 2nd quarter. And as you said, Peyton, North Park not in any hurry now. You'll see them huddle. You'll see them take the play clock down to around 5 seconds. Eck takes the snap. Hill with the ball. Runs up the middle, over players.
Number 24, Quadrell Hill on the carry.
And as long as they're able to get gains like this right here, they're going to be able to hold on to the ball and run some clock out. But Manchester, I would be calling some kind of blitz, bring in the house, something creative here to get the ball back quickly, because they probably only have one more shot to really change the momentum score with stopping North Park on all their drives to stay in this game.
It's going to be 3rd down and 5. Last time, 3rd down and 21, they were able to hit a long pass play. Here's another pass over the middle, and it's completed. A 10-yard gain to A.J. Harris, his 2nd catch of the ball game.
The pass complete to number 1, A.J. Harris. He's brought down by number 6.
And that is not ideal for Manchester, but North Park is just having a heyday with it, and they're loving it. And again, as we've seen, this quarterback is able to make plays when he doesn't have anybody in their face. And at this point in his face, and at this point in the game, if I was Manchester, I'd be bringing blitzes every single play.
Eck 9 of 23 for 185 yards and 1 touchdown. No interceptions. Last year during this game, he had 3 interceptions. Here's the handoff. This time it's Love, dances to the right side. And that'll be the last play of the third quarter as Marcel Love carries it over the 30-yard line. And we'll head to the fourth quarter. North Park on top of Manchester in week 1 on HCAC TV.
Vice President of IndianaSRN. Thanks for joining us. Do you know IndianaSRN broadcasts 350 games a year? All sorts of sports? Yeah, we do. Hard to believe, isn't it? IndianaSRN loves to put student athletes first on our website. If you're a business out there, we probably could help you too. Contact us at coach@indianasrn.org. Grandma from out of state thanks you. Mom and Dad who can't get to the game thanks you as well. In fact, our athletes watch the games over and over again. Our military has enjoyed the games as well. So sit back and enjoy the game. It's IndianaSRN.
One quarter left here from Spartan Stadium. As the Spartan crowd has been to it all game, and the band has done a great job of keeping them fired up. So have the cheerleaders.
And in front of the home stand.
And North Park's on top 27-0. As it'll start fourth quarter. Manchester has 2 timeouts left. They can stop the clock twice in this quarter. But desperately need a turnover here. 2nd and 8. Here's the handoff to Love. Tries the right side. Minimal gain.
It looks like he felt like he found a hole because he hit a little explosion there, but he was met right in the gap that he thought he had open.
Number 2, Marcel Love on the carry, dropped down by number 9.
Marcel Love with 11 carries for 37 yards. They've really kept him in check after his long first run of 25 yards. 3rd down. Call it 6 from the 34. Jump, a free play. Eck's going to go for the home run pass. And it's a little bit behind the receiver. It was in the air a long time. The pass is incomplete, but I think the defensive lineman jumped in the neutral zone that gave him that free play. A smart play by North Park to try to take advantage. And that's a free 5 yards. And we'll make it a 3rd down and 1. So it goes to the 39-yard line. Now you have 3rd and 1 with an option to run or pass. Wildcat formation, A.J. Harris. Fake the end around. Harris up the middle, drives the legs, crosses the 40, and that'll be a 1st down. Harris gets driven back, but he gets 3 yards in the 1st down.
Number 15, Jamal Hubbard.
And just a great job by that runner to power forward. That was just a very powerful run to power forward and get the 1st down there.
You think about that particular scheme and play where they've been in that Wildcat. They've shown 3 or 4 different plays out of that set. I really like the disguise of the North Park offense when it comes to that. Whether Harris has kept it, whether they've given it on the end around, or even Mbongo on the end around even tried to throw it. They've got a lot of options from that set. Eck back to pass. He's got one-on-one down the sideline and throws it too wide, intended for Brian Boyd.
And that receiver had a step on him there. It's just the placement of the ball was just a little bit off. If he was a few, maybe even inches inside with the placement of that ball, that receiver could have caught it and ran a little bit afterwards.
Well, an incomplete pass stops the clock, which is what Manchester was wanting. 2nd down and 10. And false start. It looks like the Lucy from Peanuts kind of pulled the ball from Charlie. I think the center just forgot the snap count. Everybody moved but the ball. I thought that looked a little awkward. Charlie Brown leaning on his back. False start. You know, that's the only time the center looks bad, right? Everybody moved but him, and so it's kind of obvious, poor guy. But a 5-yard penalty on North Park. They're 5th of the game. And got a free play again. Eck goes to the air, back shoulder, underthrown. But they'll get that 5 yards back.
And in a game like this, as late into the game as we are, we're seeing something that happens quite often. The score's a little lopsided, and the focus on both sides is a little off, but both teams really, to stay in it, to seal the deal, or to come back, need to focus really, really hard here.
Well, that 5 yards is given and taken. So we'll start 2nd and 10 again. Seven guys in the box for Manchester. The give to Hill, and a nice tackle taken down low by number 15.
This is the exact situation that Manchester would want North Park in. And I'm just going to call it right now. He's throwing a fade here.
No gain there for Hill. He's rushed 6 times for 39 yards and a touchdown. Jamal Hubbard making the stop on that last play for Manchester. Play clock under 5. Here's the snap. Got the slant. And Hubbard again right there with the hand up. Tried to hit Callis, the tight end, on the slant.
And again, Manchester got a little bit of pressure there. And as we have known from tonight, when Manchester gets the pressure, North Park's quarterback panics a little bit and he throws off his back foot or before he's ready to. And that's what we saw there.
36% completion percentage for Matt Eck. He is 9 of 25, but no turnovers. And here comes a punt attempt. End over end. It'll take a Viking bounce and roll to the sideline. And Manchester, a theme of the night, is going to start inside its own 10-yard line.
And it seems like every possession almost they've had down there, which is unfortunate for them. But again, this is the drive that's either going to give them hope still to stay in this game or seal the deal for North Park, because time is not Manchester's friend right now.
This is the 7th time that Manchester has had the ball and started to drive it either at the 12-yard line or less. They have not had ideal field position at all. It's tough to get that offense going when your back's against the wall. 1st and 10 from the 9. Cheney drops back to pass. He eludes some pressure. Eludes the right, throws it up, and it's caught and completed. Looks like number 5, LeVar Leisure.
And A great play by that quarterback, using his feet. We know he's a dual threat, but using his feet to buy time and get a completion downfield.
22-yard pass play
31-yard line.
to Leisure, and it's a first down. And one thing Manchester can take away, their offense has moved the ball more efficiently here in the second half. The out route is too far.
Pass throw is incomplete. Brings up second down 10.
Intended for Kenneth Red, number 81 in the flat. It'll be second down and 10. Chaney back to pass. Comeback route, and it's tipped. A nice break on it by the defensive back.
And just great coverage all around, really. The defensive line is able to crash on the quarterback here on a lot of plays because of the coverage from the defensive backs that they've had tonight.
Amar Johnson is a freshman in the backfield, playing the sticky coverage. 2 completions in a row. Now it's 3rd and 10 for Chaney. Drops back to pass. Goes to the right, has plenty of room. Gets a first down and more. Runs up to the 49-yard line. A 13-yard gain by Dante Chaney. And by far the leading rusher for Manchester tonight. That's 7 carries for 48 yards. And another first down on this drive. If you're Manchester, I think your goal is just to get some points on the board, get some positive momentum for your offense. You've worked really hard this second half. You got to reward them by getting some points on the board and get that 0 off there. Chaney bobbles the snap. Again, feels the pressure, no one up in front of him. He'll cut back and dive forward, close to 10 yards and a first down, and they'll give him a good spot.
And that's the danger of having a dual threat quarterback right here, because obviously he can make the throw, but if he doesn't see it, he'll pull it down and run with it.
Chaney's last 3 runs, Peyton, 10 yards, 13 yards, and 10 yards. Another first down, their 3rd of this drive.
And as they're getting these gains, they're going to need a little bit of a quicker tempo so they can score with not too much time taken off the clock.
1st and 10, ball in the North Park 45. Again, here comes the pressure. Chaney steps up, tries to throw the out pattern. Intended for LeVar Leisure, just a little high. You know, the offensive lineman's really at a disadvantage when the defensive linemen know that they're going to pass every play.
Yeah, they are. And it looks, I thought I saw a late flag come in, but no. Oh, a player lost the helmet.
So incomplete pass stops the clock. 10:32 left here in the 4th quarter. North Park on top 27-0. They led at halftime 21-0. The only scoring so far in this half was a 75-yard touchdown pass with 8:02 left in the 3rd.
It looks like North Park is in a man type of defense here.
Here comes the pressure and a big-time sack of 17 yards.
And just an insane pressure by that blitz, because as that linebacker was coming in, he was able to free up his defensive lineman with how hard he hit the running back trying to step up and block him.
Jaden Miller is one of the captains for the Vikings. Has just been blitzing at will. It's a 3rd and 25. Probably not many plays in the playbook for 3rd and 25. Just got to get a chunk of it back. North Park has safeties 20 yards past the line of scrimmage, and then a false start on the wide receiver. They'll move him back another 5 yards. 9th penalty for Manchester.
5-yard penalty. We play third down.
3rd down and 30.
Number 1.
Cheney getting everyone organized. 3 receivers left. The old hook and ladder, possibly, Peyton.
If I was a coach, it would be, but I suspect it'd probably just be all fades here.
Cheney getting pressure, steps up in the pocket, over the middle. It's caught by Moss Jr. and a nice gain.
And that's a best case scenario right there for Manchester here, getting a good chunk of it back, making it a little more manageable. 4th down and 15 here.
Using my hands, fingers, and toes, and Greg Smith helps me out. A big 15-yard reception for Moss Jr., his 2nd catch, and he's been involved in the offense quite a bit since halftime. But a 4th and 15. And here comes a punt for Beachy. Davis catches it, a fair catch at the 22. And that's where the North Park offense will take over. I wonder if they'll, Peyton, maybe put in some subs and get some playing time for those guys that have been grinding it out all fall camp as well. We'll see what Coach Rooker wants to do. He's got to be pleased with his one opportunity. He talked about 10 opportunities. They're only guaranteed 10 games, and this is just the first one, and that was their focus. Wasn't worried about last year. It was all about this opportunity, and they certainly have played well tonight as they start off in the Wildcat formation with A.J. Harris. Harris fakes the end around, goes through the left side, and a big gain all the way out to the 40.
And if I was that running back, I'd stay more towards the middle of the field. He got a little close to the sideline there, which would have stopped the clock, but they need to stay in bounds if they're North Park to keep this clock running.
So a big run by Harris, crosses the 40 to the 41, and they'll let this clock run as much as they can. As the clock is their friend, under 8 minutes left here in the fourth quarter. Harris in the Wildcat. Fake the handoff. He'll go around the left side again and has plenty of running room with a man out in front. Tries to stay in bounds, but is knocked out around the 30.
And just a great run there by him, finding the hole and hitting the gas. And if we're Manchester, we need something out on the field within their experienced leaders that are out there to keep the energy up. Even if you're down this late by this many points, it's important always to finish the game strong.
Well, a big run by Harris again and another first down in Manchester territory. Ball resting on the 34. Harris fakes the handoff again. Dives forward back to the line of scrimmage.
Number 1, A.J. Harris is brought down by number 97, Sam Huffman.
And Eck checks back in the game. A.J. Harris is going to take a breather. It's been all him on this drive so far.
Play second down and 10, North Park.
And if you're North Park, do you take a shot here with your gunslinging quarterback in? If I'm the coach, I'm not. I'm just trying to run the clock out here and finish it with some class.
I think that's the plan for the Vikings. That gets the snap. Here's the handoff to Love. Runs right into the mob. pushes forward for about 2 yards. Marcel Love, 12 carries, 39 yards. And it'll be third and call it 8.
Number 2, Marcel Love was brought down by number 90, David Dent.
Under 6 minutes left. Third and 8. Spartans anticipating run as well. Waiting for that play clock to go all the way down before he snaps. He'll run to the right. And he'll just slide to stay in bounds. A loss of 5 by Eck.
That Eck slides down in the backfield.
But the clock keeps running. Now Manchester has 3 timeouts. It's 4th down and 12. As A.J. Harris comes back into the game. Eck stays in as well. 4th and 12 from the 36-yard line. Eck trying to get the defensive line to jump. That's worked a few times there in the second half. And they'll take the delay of game as the clock runs all the way down. And North Park actually will take a timeout before the play clock runs down, and we'll take a timeout with it.
Every person has a story waiting to be told. Mr. Jack comes in every Monday.
Yeah, that's right.
One day I noticed his hat said he was a Korean War veteran. I asked him if he'd ever been to the Korean War Memorial.
No, I never had a chance to go.
That was the day I knew we had to do whatever it took to get him there.
Manny made it happen. I got to go to Washington, D.C. to all the memorials. The World War II Memorial, Naval Memorial, Korean War Memorial. Took all kind of pictures and everything, and it was a good trip, too.
I'm glad that I could be a part of Mr. Jack's story.
We encourage you to follow us on Twitter at IndianaSRN. Find upcoming games, video highlights, and much more. Follow us now at IndianaSRN. We encourage you to follow us on Twitter at IndianaSRN. Find upcoming games, video highlights, and much more. Follow us now at IndianaSRN.
Pride of Manchester band belting out some tunes with 4:45 left here in the fourth quarter. That school spirit still showing through as the Spartan football team trails by 27, but it's going to get the ball back. Here's a coffin corner punt. And it's going to bounce into the end zone. And it'll be a touchback. I thought that could have whistle been blown a little earlier, but touchback. And Manchester will take possession at the 20-yard line. And although Peyton, they don't have any points to show for it, Manchester definitely has made some improvements in the second half.
Yes, they made a lot. They've been able to get some things going, find a little bit of a rhythm with some things, but still not quite able to find that balance between a rhythm with the run game and the pass game so they can offset each other.
Yeah, we got a flag on the play. I see it now as the lineman, flag here on the 38-yard line. He's going to pick it up. Maybe an offside penalty, so they're going to make him re-punt it. So it's going to be now at the 36-yard line. And Carson Blatchford from Belvedere, Illinois, will punt it again. It looks like he's going to angle it to the other corner. Now wait till the play clock goes all the way down. It's at 13. The clock continues to run. Here's the snap. And it's up in the corner, lands at the 11 and takes a Manchester bounce and goes out of bounds at around the 14. It'll be Spartan ball, the 1st and 10 from the, we'll call it the 13-yard line. Dante Cheney has been at the helm the entire night, with the exception of one play.
And if you're Manchester here, you're just looking to finish strong at this point. It's the first game of the season with a brand new coaching staff. Didn't quite go your way, but that still doesn't mean that you can't put some points on the board here before this game is over.
There are some positives to take away, and certainly if you look at this second half, now I know that maybe the North Park offense hasn't been as aggressive, but it's only been a 6-0 contest if you look at it from the second half as it ended around here to Moss Jr. It's one of the featured plays that they've had.
Number 4, Duriel Moss Jr. on the carry, brought down by number 6, Jay Miller.
And Duriel Moss Jr. carries for a gain of 4 yards. Give him 3. He now has 28 on the night. And if you're North Park, you're going to hang your hat. Your goal right now is to keep that shutout going, right? How big was it for a defensive player to not let the opponent score?
Oh, you had all the confidence in the world after that. I used to eat those games up as a defensive player, and our team fed off of it. For example, my senior year of high school, there were like 5 or 6 weeks in a row we only held them to 1 touchdown. And that our defense really fed off the confidence and the swagger behind that.
Cameron Hovey on the run. Hovey takes it for a gain of 2.
3rd down and 4 for the Spartans.
It'll be 3rd down and 4. Ball resting at the 19-yard line. Doesn't look like any team's going to stop the clock. Going to let it run out. Cheney in the shotgun. 2 running backs with him. Up the middle is Love. He'll be close to a 1st down. Just Jalen Love on the carry.
Number 2, Jalen Love on the carry, brought down by number 10, Theo Smith. And that is enough for Manchester Spartans.
They'll give a Manchester 1st down.
3rd down and 10 Spartans at their own 24-yard line.
A nice gain there by Jalen Love.
For the game as the Spartan Pride Marching Band presents their 5th quarter. They'll play their show from the
2 minutes and 15 seconds left here in the game. Manchester getting organized here. 1st and 10. Ball on the 24. Here's Love around the left side. Cuts back. Flag on the play as he's able to carry it out to the 40. That looked like it's in a position of holding, Peyton.
It does look like they're going to get somebody for holding back there.
And now, one thing that you probably look forward when you watch the film, 10 penalties for Manchester on the night. That's something I think that mentally you can clean up and make improvements from week 1 to week 2.
It's definitely something that the coaches will be drilling in their head all week at practice. And when we used to have high penalty games.
What did the coach do to kind of stop those bad habits and stop those penalties?
As soon as we got to practice on Monday, what they would do is we'd warm up. They wouldn't say a word. They'd blow the whistle and they'd say, get on the line.
Now, when you run in football, like basketball, it's easy to run the lines and gassers and whatever. Do you run like 40-yard sprints? Are you running the width of the field? What's the form of running?
A lot of times we did gassers, so it would be you'd start on one sideline, you go to the other, touch the line, it'd be down, back, and they wouldn't give us much time to breathe afterwards. They'd make sure that we felt it for sure.
Love up the middle, a big hole as he's able to
Number 2, Jalen Love on the
carry it for about 5 yards out to the 20-yard line.
Brings up 2nd down and 14 for the Spartans.
And Minute and 10 seconds left in this contest. 2nd and 15. I can still hear some people bringing the juice yelling, "Let's go offense," from the Manchester faithful. 2 receivers right, 1 left. And Manchester's going to call a timeout so they don't have a delay of game penalty. We'll take a timeout with them with 45 seconds left. North Park on top. Welcome back to Manchester University. 45.2 seconds remain in week 1 of this HCAC TV broadcast. Clark Chafin, Peyton Brown, Greg Smith, Micah Ware, happy to bring it to you from northern Manchester, Indiana. As the Spartans get settled in. And some movement up front.
And the mental errors have been getting them all night long.
And another penalty by the offensive lineman. We'll try 2nd down again. 2nd and 20.
Penalty brings up 2nd down and 20 for the Spartans.
Dante Cheney. He's going to keep it, go around the right side and dive forward across the 15. But a big hit. Good read there by Cheney on the run option.
Very good read by him. And it may seem like they will not run another play.
Brings up 3rd down and 16.
Well, 20 seconds left on the play clock and 15 seconds left on the game clock. And it looks like that'll do it between the Spartans and the Vikings as it runs down 4, 3, 2, and 1. And week 1 is in the books. It was all North Park early and all North Park late. North Park started the scoring with a 30-yard field goal with 11:15 in the first quarter. And with 7 seconds left, they had a 1-yard run by quarterback Mac Deck. Makes it 9-0. The second quarter, they had a safety with 11-0. With 2:10 left before half, Quandre Hill with a 24-yard touchdown run. Made it 18-0, and they scored a field goal before half, a 25-yard field goal. And the only scoring in the second half was a 75-yard pass play with 8:02 left in the third quarter to Jeremy Mbongo. And North Park cruises to a 27-0 lead. And Peyton, your final thoughts on tonight's contest?
The final thoughts are North Park got started quick and early, and they kept it through all game, and Manchester just was not able to find a consistent rhythm. And going into this next week, North Park just needs to build off of what they were able to do here tonight, and Manchester needs to be able to find a balance between the run and pass game.
Well, we thank you for tuning in tonight and again in week 1 with HCAC TV. We'll see you next week here at Manchester University as they take on Alma. Along for producer Greg Smith, our cameraman Micah Ware, and my partner Peyton Brown. This is Clark Chafin. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next week. So long, everybody.
Thank you. Check the backup. Yeah, what you tell them? That's right. That's it. You're still here, aren't we? Thanks for coming today, sir. Yeah.